Wellsboro football, cross country, golf, band, and cheerleaders. Tonight, we would like to take the time to recognize the hard work, dedication, and commitment these student athletes and parents have shown towards this athletic program. On behalf of the athletic department, we would like to personally thank you for your contribution to the program, and best of luck in the future. For the marching band, Sydney Fitch. Sydney is the daughter of Todd and Deb Fitch. Sydney has been in marching band for 4 years. Sydney plans to have a gap year program called One Life in Morris, PA, where she will receive credits towards a college of her choice. Afterwards, she plans to go to college and major in special education. Tara Hemingway. Tara is the daughter of Tom and Stacy Hemingway. This is Tara's 5th year of marching band. She earned her letterman jacket for marching band. Tara plans to go to college and major in art education. Vivian Kittner. Vivian is the daughter of Aaron Topp and Aaron Kittner. Vivian has been in marching band for 5 years and received her letterman jacket in the beginning of her junior year. Vivian plans to attend Point Park University for forensic psychology. Good thing I don't read it as is. Sarah Mosier. Sarah is the daughter of Aaron and Jennifer Mosier. Sarah has participated in marching band for 4 years and is a senior drum major this year. Also first chair in Selinsgrove Honor Band, Jazz Band, Handbells, Dickens Choir, Women's Ensemble, Town Band, and school musicals. She is also a member of the National Honor Society and captain of the girls' basketball team. Sarah plans to attend college after graduation. Caleb Nuss. Caleb is the son of Annette and Matthew Nuss. Caleb has participated in marching band for 4 years and is senior drum major this year. Caleb plans to attend college and get a doctorate degree in biomedical engineering. Emily Sergenko. Emily is the daughter of Diane and Ernie Sergenko. She has participated in marching band for 6 years. Emily plans to attend college of the Atlantic in Maine to pursue an education in environmental studies and human ecology. Now for our football cheerleaders. Sarah Foreman. Sarah is the daughter of Rose Foreman and Randy Foreman and Nicole and Mark Flynn Lowry. Sarah has participated in cheerleading for 7 years and earned her letterman jacket. Sarah plans to attend college for nursing. The football players. Cameron Butler. Cameron is the son of Sherry Butler and the late Carl Butler. Cameron is being escorted by his mom and sister, Teal Baldwin. Cameron has participated in football for 4 years at the middle school and 3 years at the high school. Cameron plans to attend paramedic school. Landon Gatch. Landon is the son of John and Becky Gatch. Landon has played football for 8 years. Landon plans to attend the University of Wyoming for engineering. Kyle Minot. Kyle is the son of Janelle and Adam Brennan and Sean Minot. Kyle has played football for 11 years. Kyle plans to attend college majoring in criminal justice. Axel Madison. Axel is the son of Toby Madison. Axel has played football every year since flag football, 13 years. Axel plans to be in the music industry or the Marines. Zach Singer. Zach is the son of Aaron and Lynette Singer. Zach has played football for 4 years. Zach was second-team All-Star kicker in 2019. Zach plans to attend college with hopes to play football. Nicholas Smith. Nick is the son of Tom and Wendy Smith. Nick has played football for 4 years and wrestled in track for 2 years. Nick is planning on enlisting in the United States Marine Corps. God bless and be safe. Daniel Timmons. Daniel is the son of Bill and Tracy Timmons. Dan has played football since kindergarten, 12 years. Daniel plans to go to college to study for criminal justice. Tyler Wright. Tyler is the son of Leah Wright. Tyler has participated in football for 5 years. Tyler plans to join the United States Air Force. God bless and be safe. For golf, Brock Hamlin. Brock is the son of Brett and Stacy Hamlin. Brock has participated in golf for 4 years. Brock plans on going to college with an undecided major. Cross country, Anthony Dunkel. Anthony is the son of Joseph I. Dunkel and Richard Dunkel. Anthony has participated in cross country for 2 years, 2 years of soccer and 3 years in track. Anthony plans to go to college for respiratory therapy. Aiden Fletcher. Aiden is the son of Jason and Catherine Fletcher. Aiden has participated for 6 years in cross country. Aiden received the MVP award his junior season, and this is his second year as team captain. Aiden plans to attend college for a 4-year degree, but undecided on a major yet. Aislinn Hoos. Aislinn is the daughter of Hal and Karen Hoos. Aislinn has participated in cross country for 6 years. She earned the up-and-coming All-Star her freshman year. Aislinn plans to attend college to become a physical therapist. How you doing? Gentlemen, a round of applause for our seniors. Congratulations to all the seniors and their parents. But let's start getting ready for some football!
Wellsboro North Penn football will be coming up at 6:45 tonight on the Blue Ridge Cable Network, Channel 13.
Chris Vaughn, Hall of Famer.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Blue Ridge Television Channel 13 broadcast of area high school football as we make history tonight for the Blue Ridge Cable Network as we start our football broadcast. And we have a big one for you tonight. Chris Vaughn, along with Mr. Kevin Green, and we are at Wellsboro High School, where the rivalry game that's normally played at the end of the season is now played at the beginning of the season. It's the Wellsboro Hornets and the North Penn Panthers in area high school football. And we've just already conducted the senior night celebration here as Wellsboro honored all of their graduating seniors in all the fall sports so far. And senior night, the first game of the season at home for Wellsboro. Rivalry week took place last week in the NTL, but North Penn had the bye, so they get the rivalry week this week. And Mr. Kevin Green, I guess this is what they would say now, the new normal when it comes to high school football in 2020.
Yeah, and welcome to the broadcast, everybody. And Chris, as you mentioned earlier, what a better way to start the season off with the rivalry game right up front. Wellsboro hosting the North Penn Mansfield Tigers, Chris. And, on the surface, you think Wellsboro is going to have a big advantage in this game. They've had an extra week of practice. They've had one scrimmage and one live game with Kowniski Valley last week in which they won big. And North Penn Mansfield yet to play a game. But yet if you talk to Coach Hildebrand, he lets you know that he's a little bit concerned because he doesn't know what North Penn Mansfield is going to do early on in the season. Are there going to be any wrinkles they're going to throw at him in this first game? He's got to go by a lot of what history has shown him. So it's going to be a great first game, Chris. And as you mentioned, senior night here. So even with a limited crowd, a lot of energy here at the Wellsboro field.
Yes, that's the thing. It is obviously this is going to be the new normal. I think the biggest thing, I guess the first jolt, so to speak, North Penn will have is, when they run out onto the field tonight to dead silence, and then Wellsboro will follow with minimal applause, but at least the Wellsboro band will be playing. But I think that's one thing, and we did talk to Coach Hildebrand about that earlier this week, and that was how the teams are going to have to go about making their own energy and staying enthused, and the guys on the bench having that responsibility to keep the guys on the field up and solid. Somebody makes a big play with a long punt return, throughout their lives so far, when they make a big play, they're acknowledged by the parents in the stands, the band playing and things like that. And now there'll be a lot of silence when those plays are made, other than their teammates clapping. Yeah,
absolutely, Chris. But if you talk to players individually, they'll tell you a lot of times, outside of a big play here or there, the crowd doesn't really affect them or bother them too much either way. So it will be interesting to see how that plays out.
And one thing, Kevin, maybe you want to enlighten everybody a little bit, just to give you somewhat of an idea of what some of the protocols these players have to go through to get to this point where they're playing football tonight in the world of COVID-19 football in the state of Pennsylvania.
Well, from the viewpoint that we have here in the press box, Chris, if you can look down at the stadium, or if you see a shot of it tonight, you'll see that Lowe's has donated to the Wellsboro Hornets. Each player has an individual bucket, and that's where they'll put some of their gear and their own personalized water bottle. From what I understand, Chris, the ball has to be sanitized throughout the ball game. All players and coaches and people that will be on the field have to go through temperature checks. When they go for timeouts, I'm not 100% sure how they're going to do water, but what I understand is they'll have disposable water bottles for the timeout. And as in years past, when they would do a timeout, you would see the teams in the coaches' huddle. I'm not sure how they're going to do that this year. That's something that we haven't been made aware of, so I guess we'll learn that firsthand tonight, how timeouts will be conducted. But even if they go on the bus, for example, last week Wellsboro was at Kowniski Valley. Everybody, again, had to get a temperature check. That included everybody who was on the bus. Certain number of people, at a time can get on the bus. So there's just a lot of different things that players and coaches have to adapt to this year that obviously they didn't in the past.
And I think, Kevin, really, it's usually a catchphrase coaches in all sports use, and that's taking it one game at a time. But in football this year, truly, or in all really fall sports that are being played at the high schools throughout Pennsylvania, the term one game at a time really takes on extra meaning, because in a lot of cases you don't know if there is going to be a game next week. Now, Kevin and I just were informed. We don't know if it's true, but we believe it to be true, and that is that the Canton Athens game scheduled for tonight was already postponed due to, I believe, a parent of one of the players on one of the teams that may have tested positive, but the result of the test hadn't come back yet. But the rumor was that that game was actually postponed for tonight, Canton-Athens. So, again, truly, one game at a time is what you really have to look at it, and you certainly hope these teams will play their full season now. Another thing to talk about with you as we wait for the teams to come onto the field is a full season this year for both North Penn and Wellsboro. Kevin, it constitutes 6 games.
Yeah, and I think right now, Chris, North Penn Mansfield has 2 games with Troy and only 2 home games, and that's just because each school district chooses their own protocol of where they'll travel to play and their conduct of how they will handle the size of the crowds and such. So each school is a little bit different, and Chris, you'll see that most of the teams are going to predominantly play within Tioga and Bradford County. Wellsboro, I believe, has 3 home games and 3 away games, so they have an even split. But again, when we talk to Coach Hildebrand, playoffs, a big question mark at this time. No one knows what's going to happen there. And before it's all said and done, Chris, you could play one team 3 times, depending upon if situations arise where cancellations have to happen.
Yes, that's one thing where that the season's going to be flexible. For example, let's say Athens. Well, let's say the Athens tonight it won't work this way. But if the Athens and where are they playing now? Athens and Canton. The Athens-Canton game was played, and then they came out that possibly someone had tested positive, and they needed to take a pause. Athens and Canton then would not play the following week, but rather than the 2 opponents that Athens and Canton would be having, also having to take a pause. Let's say Athens was going to play North Penn Mansfield the following week, and Canton was set to play Kawaneski Valley. Then it would be switched over, and Kawaneski would play the other opponent while Athens and Canton were not playing. So the schedule is going to be flexible like that you might have a game that's not even on the schedule for you. And right now, as we get ready, the North Penn Panthers are ready to take the field. And as I say, this will be the first jolt as the Panther team comes onto the field. I know there's some Panther faithful along the banks here. That'll probably give them a little shout. But I think this is going to be the first realization of, if they haven't already, the new normal in football in 2019.
Yeah, and certainly, Chris, you can only imagine the emotions that's going through the North Penn Mansfield players as they've probably have done very little, if any, live hitting, let alone against an opponent. So again, that advantage to the Wellsboro Hornets already having a scrimmage and a game 1 against Kawaneski Valley under their belt.
And Wellsboro also getting ready to come out, but the Panthers are going to come out first. And now they paused. They were ready to come out, and the captains there quickly backed off. So not coming out yet. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship here going on, as it looked like they were ready to run out on the field, and it looked like they took a pause there. Coleman Jelliff was the one with the Panther flag in the end zone to lead the team out. And now they're waiting, and here they come. Here are your North Penn Panthers. And now the Wellsboro Hornets take the field in the Wellsboro green and white. North Penn in their away uniforms.
Well, Chris, even though the crowd here will be limited, again, due to the guidelines, one thing we know is Coach Steve Adams is going to keep the crowd lively, though. He's already done a great job of getting the Wellsboro faithful involved here early on. So we look forward to Coach Adams with his usual fiery comments.
Usual enthusiasm, and he'll have to work extra hard with the limited fans that are in attendance tonight. This broadcast tonight is sponsored by First Citizens Community Bank, one of the top performing community banks in the nation. Visit myfccb.com to learn more. A member of the FDIC, and we do thank First Citizens Community Bank. And I know there's not a camera on us, and we're going to pause now for the national anthem. A great job by the Wellsboro band, and also I should mention right now we want to welcome everybody in the Wellsboro Nation that's watching us on the streaming. Wellsboro sporting events now being streamed live, and a lot of the Wellsboro fans watching on that, and some good friends in North Penn Mansfield area. Certainly they're watching possibly on the streaming or with the Blue Ridge as well. And Kevin, as we get ready to start the game, I have a present for you, Mr. Green. I have a present for you. A great fan of our broadcast in Wellsboro and Mansfield, Linda from Blossburg. Linda from Blossburg, I know you're rooting for your North Penn Panthers tonight, but Linda prepared for us a dual mask. Well, you can't see it on the air, but right now it's a mask that will have blue for North Penn Mansfield on one side, Wellsboro green on the other. And Kevin, I'll let you put on the Wellsboro or the Mansfield blue right now, the North Penn blue mask, and I'll wear the Wellsboro green. And in the spirit of détente, we will switch it off at halftime. But thank you so much, Linda, for preparing us for the game. And Kevin will have his Wellsboro, or he'll have his North Penn Mansfield blue. And I'll go with the Wellsboro green right now. North Penn is going to kick off to start the football game. They'll kick off from the 40.
And Chris, what a battle we've got here. Good kickers in this ball game too, with Kevin Alexander for North Penn Mansfield set to kick off, and I believe it's Jack Poirier for Wellsboro. So that could be a factor in this ball game as well.
Opening kickoff taken on about the 20. Return coming out to about the 33-yard line. And the ball will come out to about the 37-yard line. Kevin, who is your key players to watch on both teams tonight?
Well, I'm going to take the easy one, Chris, for Wellsboro on offense, and I'm going to go with the Gazette Player of the Week last week with Darren Callahan. And on defense for Wellsboro, I'm going to go with Isaac Keene.
Okay, Isaac Keene on defense. He's also the quarterback, and he's lined up right behind center. I'll give you my players to watch in just a moment. First snap of the game, and it's a high snap, and Keene's going to have to fall on it for a big loss back to the 21-yard line. A high snap, and not the way you wanted to start that out, because that's going to push the ball back to the 21-yard line. So it's going to be about 2nd and 23 right now. My players to watch for North Penn Mansfield on defense, their leading tackler from last year, Mr. Brett Harvey, will be my defensive player. Offensively for North Penn Mansfield, I'm going to go with Mr. Bogacek. And for Wellsboro, Zach Singer. Now at wide receiver at 6'3", he's going to be a problem. And Josh Brown, watch him on the Wellsboro defensive side of the ball.
And Chris, I'm going to go with Chopolowski for North Penn on defense and Litzelman on offense.
And Keene keeps the football, and look at Keene go. He's down to the 40, down to the 35, and finally run out of bounds deep in Mansfield territory. And Noah Spencer makes the tackle, but they might say that he hit him out of bounds. And there could be additional yardage tacked on as Keene just rolled out and just kept rolling. So a first play miscue turns into a second play significant gain. And again, Kevin, what you were talking about, possibly the limited amount of tackling right now might be affecting the Panthers a little bit.
Yeah, and certainly, Chris, on that play.
And that is a personal foul, and that's going to be walked off. So Wellsboro, in a big hole on their own 21-yard line, will now take their next snap from the North Penn 17-yard line.
And Chris, on that previous play, you've got Isaac Keene. He's a 3-year starter. So he obviously was able to see something there in the defense and get a big gain. And there's a handoff to Callahan, and he's met immediately in the backfield, Chris, by 36.
Ryan Wilson.
Wilson
with a nice stop there, and that pushes the ball back to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 13 from that juncture. 10:46 to play in the first quarter. The lights are on at Wellsboro High School, and that's got to make you feel good. At all the small towns and larger towns, seeing the Friday night lights on the stadiums in Pennsylvania. Even if there's very few fans in that stadium, just the lights being on for a Friday night kind of senses things hopefully are turning around. Keene in the shotgun. Another high snap. He pulls it in, though. Rush coming, rolling out again, dumps his pass off, and it is caught, and it's down inside the 10-yard line. Callahan out of the backfield gets the reception, and Callahan gets the first and goal now as Wellsboro on the 5-yard line of the North Penn Panthers.
Of course, that was very good coverage by North Penn Mansfield, but that was a perfect throw by Isaac Keene. He put it in. The only person who could catch that ball was Callahan, who was able to haul it in and get inside the 5-yard line for a first and goal.
A little bit of a high snap, but Keene able to pull it back in and get the first down. Pitch back there, nice misdirection, and a nice tackle there by the Tigers. Logan Mackley on the tackle there, and the ball dropped or down now to the 2-yard line, so they'll have a second and goal from the 2.
And so far, Chris, it's been a lot of the Isaac Keene and Darren Callahan show here early on, and let's see if the Hornets can punch it in here from the 2.
I doubt if they'll get any too wild on this call, probably conservative, but there's movement on the line, and it could be an offside penalty against the Panthers, but they could have been drawed off as well. Nope, it's an encroachment penalty, and that puts the ball on the 1. I guess if you're going to get a penalty, get it down there where you only lose 1 yard. But it still is 1 yard closer for the Hornets to drive that ball into the end zone for their first score of the game tonight. North Penn looking to try to put up a goal line stand. Again, Keene remains in the shotgun. High snap again, and here's trouble again for Wellsboro, and they're going to have to go back to the 21-yard line as the high snap from center. Keene able to fall on it because, boy, if he didn't pick up that ball, Kevin, a North Penn player would have been going 99 yards on a defensive touchdown.
Smart play by Isaac Keene just to fall on that and to prevent any further damage, Chris. But Wellsboro that time in an empty backfield, that looked like that was a design quarterback keep all the way for Keene. But now here you have an advantage for the North Penn Mansfield defense. It's a third and goal here from the 21.
So a break there for the Panthers. But it could have been a 99-yard touchdown because there were just a lot of white jerseys there. Here's the snap back. Keene to pass. Keene lets it go into the end zone. He's got a man open, and it's caught for the touchdown. It was deflected. Looked like by Noah Spencer. But Connor Adams is able to bring it in, and a 21-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Keene. It looked like the play was well defended by Noah Spencer. He got his hand on the ball, but it tipped in the air, and good concentration by Connor Adams, and quick 6 for the Hornets.
Yeah, it was a late development play. Connor Adams able to find an open spot in the end zone, and Keene was able to hit him in the numbers, and Wellsboro with the early lead.
Extra point attempt. Jack Poirier with the conversion attempt. I know he's an excellent soccer player, and now putting his talents to use on the football field tonight, and it's 7-0 in favor of the Hornets. So North Penn Mansfield will get their first opportunity with their star quarterback, Colton Litzelman. Litzelman had an excellent year last year for North Penn, and I believe he threw for over 1,850 yards last season. And a lot of people thought, well, what's going to happen when the lineage of the Burley family, all the years that either Bo Burley or Brock Burley or Brent Burley were quarterbacking the team, and they thought there might be a drop-off, but Colton Litzelman stepped right in, and it was a seamless transfer. Yeah,
he had a great year, Chris, and probably exceeded expectations out of the quarterback spot. He's left-handed, and they're going to have to rely on him again this year, Chris. North Penn Mansfield does return a lot of skill players, so his weapons will be there again this year.
Here's the kick. Fielded by number 24 for the Panthers, and that's Cohen Lehman. And Lehman will get tackled on about the 23-yard line. Tackled by Will Kibler. and we'll see what the Panthers dial up. Tom Dickinson, one of the best coaches in the NTL, and we'll see how he's got his team ready to go with their first offensive possession of the season. And as we said, Wellsboro played Kawaneski Valley last week, so they've certainly had a game already. And we'll see what the Panthers can dial up here as Brett Harvey snaps the ball. And there's a big gainer right off the bat. And that's going to be a first down as North Penn Mansfield out with Brian Bogacek, my offensive player to watch. And Bogacek,
tackled by my defensive player, Isaac Keene.
Isaac Keene. So many of these players playing both ways. It's really a thing to watch.
A short game there, Chris, for Bogacek up the middle.
Ryan Sweet makes the tackle after about a 2-yard pickup. That's where North Penn will have it 2nd and 8.
Well, if Coach Hildebrand was relying on the previous years to get ready for this year, Chris, he guessed correct as North Penn Mansfield out in their patented spread offense. 4 wide, 1 in the backfield.
Again, back into the shotgun goes quarterback Litzelman. Handoff again, Bogacek. Bogacek turns the corner, crosses the 40 to about, that was probably spot on about the 45. And it's going to be 3rd down at that juncture. A 3rd and 2 play coming up for the Panthers.
A nice job by Bogacek to keep his feet moving, Chris. He actually was stopped about 2 yards further back on the initial contact, but able to keep driving and gain those 2 yards to make it a favorable 3rd and 2.
Snap taken. Hand off again, and Bogacek's going to be, he spun forward, but he's going to come up a little short, and we'll see how much of a gambling man Coach Dickinson might be. It's going to be 4th down and a good yard. It's going to be 4th and 1. And right now it does not appear that the defense is going to come on the field. I know Tom's a Miami Dolphin fan, but he's taking a page out of the Eagles' Doug Peterson playbook here.
Well, is he going to try
for 4th down?
Is he going to try to draw him off, Chris? Is this one of those let the play clock run down, see if you can get him to jump? Or they
no.
Go?
And a bad snap there. Here come the Hornets, and the ball's intercepted. He tried to throw the ball away, and a gift touchdown on a pick 6. As Will Kibler says thank you very much, and Wellsboro, as they tried to just throw the ball away there, and it comes back to bite the Panthers in that situation. So Will Kibler with a pretty easy pick 6.
Yeah, right from the get-go, Chris, that 4th down play went awry for the Panthers, and Lisselman just in a hurry trying to throw it away and happened to throw it to a very grateful Will Kibler, Chris, who returned it for the pick 6, and a big lead here early on for the Wellsboro Hornets.
Now a whistle on the play before the conversion. And so there's going to be a penalty on the Panthers there. A crucial mistake there. North Penn, though, fortunately has the majority of the football game to compensate for that. There's the snap. Here's the kick. And that kick by Poirier is perfect. And Poirier's extra point is good. And the score is 14-0 in favor of Wellsboro. And we still got 6:09 to play. What's Coach Dickinson going to say right now to his team? He's obviously set everybody down. We got plenty of football to play.
Well, this is what you thought could happen, Chris, for North Penn Mansfield. They haven't played a game. They haven't had a scrimmage. So far, though, you're fortunate. You've got a senior quarterback with a lot of experience under his belt. He's got all of his weapons back, Chris. You just got to play it one snap at a time. They're big play. They can score quickly. And maybe a good return here helps you too, Chris.
Kicking off will be Poirier. Trying to see who the deep men are there. It looks like number 9, Cameron Fabian, is one of them. And we can't quite catch the number on the other deep man.
I think it's Noah Spencer, Chris, number 20.
Okay. And here we go. From the 10, it's Spencer. Spencer hits the seam, and he will cross the 30-yard line out to about the 34. And it'll be first down there. Wetzel makes the tackle for the Hornets. Spencer Wetzel, a sophomore.
Well, Chris, that first drive, other than that fourth down attempt, North Penn Mansfield ran the ball every time.
Yes, they haven't featured any of their good wide receiving core just yet. And you got a 6'7" wide receiver and Brandon Thompson out there. But there's a keeper by Litzelman. Litzelman crosses the 35 to about the 36. Pickup of about, actually they got to put it on the 35. Pickup about a yard. 2nd and 9. Sweet again on the Wellsboro tackle.
That looked like a broken play, Chris. I don't think that was a design Litzelman run. I think someone went the wrong spot, and Litzelman just had to try to carry it and get what he could pick up.
Snap, looking deep for Thompson on one of those long passes, and Thompson uses his 6'7" size, and Brandon Thompson, one of the stars of the Liberty basketball team, makes a huge play, and North Penn Mansfield on the Thompson catch will have it on the 21-yard line. 1st and 10. You kind of put that ball up, said, my man's bigger than your man.
Yeah,
just out-jump him, Brandon.
Thompson does have the height advantage over there, and a good job by Connor Adams to prevent any further damage. He was there to wrestle Thompson to the ground. And but Chris, that's what we talked about. That's the ability that Colton Litzman brings you, the big plays to get back into this game for North Penn Mansfield.
And off to Bogacek. Bogacek turns the corner of the 20 down the 15, and he crosses the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's Cohen Lehman, Chris. That's number 24.
We stand corrected. They indicated Bogacek on the PA, but it is a touchdown for Lehman. 24. Cohen Lehman, a sophomore. Sophomore running back Cohen Lehman rolls it in.
Yeah, just like that, Chris, you're back into the game. And
that's the way to answer the other team scoring a touchdown. And Wellsboro looks like they were offside on the conversion attempt by Alexander. The kick is good, but there's a flag on the play. I think it'll be against Wellsboro. Yeah, encroachment. Will Coach Dickinson take the 1 point or be a little bit closer? And I guess they're saying it's before the snap, so I guess there's not going to be any choice in the matter.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused. I thought he certainly would take the made extra point, but
I guess that was a dead ball foul. So they don't have that option. They'll have to kick it.
So three possessions, Chris, have allowed us 3 touchdowns. And we do have 2 of the area's best kickers in this ball game. So.
Yeah, it really to see Alexander, the way he can kick Poirier, the way he can kick Singer. He kicked last year, and we know how good a kicker Carson Dominic was for the junior high team. So I think the kicking game is probably as good tonight as you're going to see in just about any high school football game in the state of Pennsylvania. We are blessed with 2 kickers who can really boom the football. But what an impressive mini drive there for North Penn to come back that quickly and just take over.
Well, that was the first pass attempt of the game for Colton Litzelman, Chris, and able to connect with a big gainer to Brian Thompson. And I think we're going to see a little bit more now. Maybe now for North Penn Mansfield, Chris, that those first game jitters are out of their system.
Well, we know there's a lot of hoot and hollering going on right now in the plaza in Blossburg. As we'll tell you a little bit more about the event they're hosting there, but they're showing the game tonight at the plaza in Blossburg. Tom McNamara and his buddies setting all that up there. Big projector and a big-time yelling coming from Blossburg on that touchdown. But here's Wellsboro now answering the call in this high-octane offensive game.
And that's Connor Adams, Chris. He's going to play. You're going to see him a lot tonight on both sides of the ball and special teams. A good return out. Looks like out to about the 32-yard line.
32-yard line. Colton Roop was the one who knocked him out of bounds there. And
But Chris, so far, the Wellsboro Hornets have had obviously a lot of success offensively on their first possession, moving the ball. A lot of Keene and Callahan, and then of course the touchdown to Connor Adams. So we'll see if North Penn Mansfield can do anything different defensively this series.
Plenty of time for Keene. He's rolling out. He decides he's going to run. He's going to get some positive real estate. He's across the 40, and flags go down on the play, and North Penn Mansfield feeling there may have been a clip or a hold, and we'll see if this one comes back. That was at least one of the Panther players felt he was the cause of that infraction.
Boy, you see the pressure coming up early, Chris, and Isaac Keene just calm and collected back there, able to find a spot, able to get to the corner.
Block to the back will put the Hornets back 10 yards. Two of the best area coaches here tonight. Tommy Dickinson doing such a marvelous job throughout the years at North Penn. And last week, hard to believe, but already just in his 8th season, you got Matt Hildebrand, the all-time winningest coach now in the history of Wellsboro High School. And we'll talk a little bit more about Wellsboro's streak over the past 7 years in a little bit as well.
84% winning percentage, Chris. That's amazing.
Here goes Keene again, keeping the football. It does not fool Brett Harvey as Harvey comes up with a play there. And it's going to be and also Ryan Wilson in on the tackle with Harvey. Pickup of about a couple of yards, but it's going to be still second and long, about 16 yards to go for the Hornets.
Yeah, and certainly, Chris, you can see when Darren Callahan's in the backfield, he's drawn a lot of attention. So let's see if that opens it up for one of these Hornet receivers underneath or get some one-on-one coverage for maybe a deep pass.
And the ball's on the ground as they try to get a little fancy with a misdirection play there, but Wellsboro's able to fall on the ball. Right there for North Penn Mansfield was Logan Chaplowski, but Wellsboro fortunately falling on the errant pigskin. And it's going to be 3rd and long as they push it back to about the 25-yard line. And it looks like about 16 yards now they're going to need on this possession. 3rd and 16. The scoreboard says 14, but I'll do the math. They got to get from the 25 to the 41. That's 16 yards.
Yeah, and Chris, the only thing negative so far for Wellsboro on offense is so far they've got the ball on the ground 3 times.
Yeah, they have been a little careless holding on to the football so far.
Fortunately, they haven't lost any.
And there's a pass out there into the flat. Cut back there. And there goes 22 for the Hornets. Darren Callahan for the Hornets gets the first down and then some as a great cutback there by Callahan. And
that was all Callahan, Chris. I mean, that pass, there was pressure up the middle right from the get-go. Keene had to kind of step back and throw over a defender, and Callahan just weaved his way for more than the first down yardage needed. So
the rich get richer. You lose your all-time leading rusher in Aiden Hauser, and you have Darren Callahan rushing for over 100 yards last week in his first game and off to a huge start tonight. Here's another penalty flag on the play at the indication it's going to go against the green-clad Hornets.
Well, that was a different formation by the Hornets there, Chris, as Connor Adams was under center that time. Isaac Keene was split out wide left. And it looked like just maybe some different type of a formation to throw North Penn Mansfield off. But movement up front by the Hornets will send them back 5.
Beautiful night for football. Very, wind about 10 miles an hour. Nothing that should affect a kicking game with these kickers. And going to get a little colder as the night progresses. That is for sure for mid-September. But all in all, you couldn't really be asking for a better night for a high school football game, a rivalry game. Keene puts the ball into his own hands, and he crosses the 50-yard line. Japlowski on the tackle. And he's back to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it 2nd down and 10 yards, Kevin.
Chris, a little bit surprised early on. We haven't been able to call out Nick Smith or Zach Singer yet. I thought maybe they might get some action here early on, but I do believe before it's all said and done, we're going to call their name quite a bit.
Yeah, it's been the Keene Callahan show for the most part so far. And some movement again. North Penn came across the line, but were they drawn off? And they were, making this second down play even more challenging.
Wellsboro's been able to show, Chris, that they can overcome adversity here in this first quarter. So, 2nd and 15's very, very easy for them to pick up. And this time, Chris, they've got Callahan in the slot.
Snap. Double pumping. He's got a man open, and he throws it just a little bit too hard. Zach Singer was the intended receiver on that particular play.
Well, we wondered, Chris, when they might try to give him a shot down the field, and that's a good spot on the field to try to do that. But good coverage over here by number 9 from North Penn Mansfield, Cam Fabian.
Third and 15. North Penn looks to try to get the ball back. Wellsboro looking to pick up the 15 yards, and there's a misdirection, pitch back. And this handoff goes to Callahan on the carry. Who else?
Well, let's see what Coach Hildebrand does here, Chris. It's a 4th and...
It looks like they're going to punt. Colin Jelliff made that tackle, and it looks like Wellsboro will surrender the football. Poirier will punt.
It's like Spencer back deep to receive.
Another high snap. Wellsboro's had some trouble on the snap side, and that is not a good kick. It bounced, but it does take a Wellsboro bounce, and it will go down to the 23-yard line. Very fortunate that didn't slide over the punter's head.
Well, nice job by Jack Poirier, Chris, to, as you said, avoid letting that sail over his head and causing damage, and able to get off a respectable punt after that and get North Penn Mansfield to start here at the 24-yard line.
Ball on about the 23-yard line. First down for the North Penn Panthers. 1:19 to play in a very entertaining first quarter. And off again, though, to number 24, Cohen Lehman, the touchdown man. Campbell and Joe Brown make the tackle. Pick up on the play. Nice little pickup. Pickup of about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 will be the necessary yardage the Panthers need to gain.
And, Chris, we're nearing under a minute here in the first quarter, and what's maybe typical years past, one of the quickest quarters we've played.
Airing it out deep. He's got a man open. Oh, just over through the fingers, tips of the intended receiver. Noah Spencer was on the receiving end, just off his fingertips. It was a great pass, great try, but just couldn't quite connect. Maybe by games 5 or 6, that play might be complete, but first game of the season, no scrimmage. You're just going to maybe misfire a little bit on those plays.
Well, and a big third down here, Chris, in this first quarter, 3rd and 6. See if North Penn does a quick hit here.
Snap taken. Back to pass. They set up a pass there in the flat, and that pass was just off the fingertips of the intended receiver.
That pass has some zip on it,
Yeah,
Chris.
I was going to say that one was zipped in there pretty good.
Well, that was a quick hitter. We thought they may try to do it to Noah Spencer, one of the fastest skill guys for Coach Dickinson's squad, but unable to execute, and North Penn Mansfield here will punt.
And Noah Spencer is going to do the punting. Ooh, and that's a bad punt. Ooh, that ball goes out of bounds on about the 32-yard line, it looks like.
About a net of about 4 yards, Chris.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Noah's kind of a little miffed at himself on that one, but that one just didn't connect.
Well, and here we are, Chris. Wellsboro in great position here, maybe before the end of the first quarter to tack on to their 7-point lead. Let's see what Coach Hildebrand dials up. He's had a lot of success with Keene keeping it on the keeper, or maybe Callahan out of the backfield.
And it will be the latter. It's Callahan out of the backfield. He crosses the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
Tackle on the play. Brett Harvey in on the tackle. And we want to give a big shout-out to Colin Jelf was also there. I know Lisa and her family enjoying the game tonight, watching it, and watching her son, Brett Harvey, make some good defensive stops for the Tigers tonight, along with Colin Jelf, who's had a very nice first quarter. Jelf has been very active on the defensive side of the ball, along with Brett Harvey. So 14-7 is the score at the end of the first quarter, as we're pleased to bring you this game tonight on the Blue Ridge Cable Network. Limited travel, limited socialization, and limited access to toilet paper came out of nowhere. But First Citizens Community Bank customers never lost access to their financial information or their money when they use the bank's free NetTeller online banking tool. NetTeller is convenient and provides instant access to your finances from your smartphone, laptop, and tablet. That's First Citizens Community Bank, member FDIC, and the sponsor of tonight's broadcast of Rivalry Week for North Penn Mansfield and for Wellsboro. Next week, North Penn Mansfield has their first home game of the season. That'll be against Troy. Wellsboro next week will be on the road, I believe, as we look at the Wellsboro schedule. And we find where the Hornets next week will take up residence at Canton. That could be a big game. Whether that'll be Canton's second or third game, we'll have to see.
Yeah, certainly early on, that's the big heavyweight match about here, Chris, in the football season.
As we said before, we heard a rumor that the Canton-Athens game was postponed due to a possible COVID case with a parent of one of the teams. First play of the second half, there goes Isaac Keene, and he should have gained enough yardage there to get a first down. It'll be 1st and 10 on the first play of quarter number 2.
Yep, Keene, the Hornets had 4 receivers all bunched together here on the right side, and Keene looked to his left, saw a lot of real estate, Chris, and just took off and gained about 12 on that to get the first down inside the red zone, the 20-yard line.
They do cross the red zone, 11:28 to go in the second quarter. We will be featuring a performance by the Wellsboro Marching Band at halftime. And again, you can see early in the season penalty flags, and this will be a false start on the offense, so they'll have to go 5 more yards on this next play.
Yeah, and certainly, Chris, we've seen balls on the ground. We've seen some penalties, so certainly you can tell it's been a different offseason for both teams.
And again, if the camera angle provides there, you can see each Wellsboro player on their sideline is next to their individual bucket that they have there. And the players that are on the field, their bucket's kind of down towards the other end of the bench there, as they're allowing the teams to move much further down the line, so they don't, so they can social distance. Normally, the officials are keeping them pretty much from about maybe the 30-yard line between the 30 and 30, but now they're encouraged to, on the one side, go all the way down to the 15-yard line as far as where the buckets are placed.
Well, Chris, Wellsboro, again, in the same formation they've used the last 3 plays with 4 receivers bunched to the right, has resulted in Keene keeping it twice, but this time it's a throw to Callahan.
And Callahan will gain positive real estate. Tackle on the play for Lehman, who's had a big first quarter as well, including his nice 24-yard touchdown run for the Panthers. And the excellent 10th grader, a player that fans for North Penn Mansfield are going to enjoy for several more years.
Yep, starts both ways, Chris, and been very involved, as you said, both sides of the ball tonight, and I believe even received the opening kickoff of the season for North Penn.
Third down play with plenty of time. Now Isaac rolling out, and he's going to have to take a hit and wrestle to the ground as the defense for North Penn. A good coverage sack there. Good coverage sacks is Fisher Van Druff in on the tackle. Fisher Van Druff, senior defensive end, and now it's 4th down from the 32-yard line. You need 18 or the 27-yard line. We know Poirier has a strong leg, but is this out of the range? It looks like it is out of the range, and they're going to try to pick up the 18 yards. Keen back. Nice pass there. A beautiful play. Set up to Connor Adams as he went in motion, and Adams gets down to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, good 4th down. That's a good 4th down execution, Chris, for the Wellsboro Hornets. That's, in this case, almost as good as a punt. You pin North Penn Mansfield back a little bit and into a hole. So, good execution there from Keene to Adams.
Excellent execution, but the Panthers are able to tackle him before he would get the first down. But as you said, Kevin, it certainly kept it, because at that point, if you punted the ball, it probably would have bounded into the end zone. Yeah. And it would come out to the 20. So here they have to take over inside the 20 on the Wellsboro House scoreboard, 14-7 in favor of the Hornets. First play of the second quarter on offense for the Panthers, and once again it's Cohen Lehman who's been really carrying the ball a lot. Bagacic got about the first 4 or 5 handoffs, but now it's been the Lehman show. Again, we'll see. Thompson made a big reception earlier for North Penn Mansfield. Let's see if they go back to Brandon Thompson here anytime soon. And there's a pass to Noah Spencer, and a good tackle there, because Spencer, with his speed, if he got loose in the open field, he would have been a handful to tackle as Callahan makes the tackle.
Yeah, good to see Noah Spencer out there, Chris. Unfortunately, to a knee injury last year, he missed most of the season for Coach Dickinson. So good to see him out there. Looks healthy and able to take that pass and convert it for a first down.
Ball on the 32-yard line, 8:05 and counting here in a very entertaining first half of play. Handoff there, I believe it was Lehman again. And a host of Hornets, a swarm of Hornets in on that tackle. Brown led the way, but he had a lot of help on the Wellsboro defense on that play.
Joe Brown wasn't fooled on that one, Chris. He hit Lehman about the time Lehman obtained the handoff, and it was a loud collision and about a 2-yard loss there for North Penn Mansfield.
And Brown only a sophomore as well, so the Wellsboro fans are going to enjoy his defensive exploits over the next couple of seasons. 2nd and 12. And the whistle blows again for an infraction as they send Colton Roop in motion on that play. Well, it's going to be a walk-off against the Hornets for 5 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7, as North Penn Mansfield says, thank you very much. Encroachment penalty on the green-clad Hornets. Ball on the 35-yard line. And again, we're so pleased to be with you on the Blue Ridge Cable Network, Channel 13. We'll be with you for the 3 Wellsboro home games that they will have. Next game will be in 2 weeks, and that'll be a dandy when Wellsboro plays Troy. A pass out in the flat, that is caught, and receiver gets out to about the 39-yard line. And that receiver was, Kevin, I couldn't pick up the uniform number.
I think it was 18, Chris.
18? And Adams makes the tackle on Colton Roop. And the ball will be spotted on about the 39-yard line. They'll need 3 yards to execute on this 3rd down play. Ball hits the ground. They hand it off, and Bagacic gets this handoff. He crosses the 40. He makes a little something out of nothing. Ryan Sweet makes the tackle. And it's going to be a 4th down, and it looks like the Panthers, well, yeah, Spencer's back in the punt formation. I wasn't sure there for a second. I was thinking quite possibly that they were going to try to go for it. 4th quarter, maybe. Probably not with 6 minutes to go in the 2nd quarter.
And Spencer, really good punt this time. Chris takes a Wellsboro bounce.
Yeah, Wellsboro bounce. The ball knocked to the ground by Colton Roop.
Yeah, Spencer shook off the first attempt, Chris. Much better overall effort this time. And Wellsboro starts at their own 36.
After the quick scoring outburst that both teams had early in the game, we've gone into a little more of a defensive posture here over the last several possessions. And again, whistle prior to the snap, North Penn pointing towards Wellsboro. Wellsboro walking back, and a false start penalty is going to push it back 5. So with 5:53 to go in the first half, Wellsboro pushed back to the 31-yard line, where they'll be asked to pick up 15 yards now instead of 10.
Yeah, in years past, Chris, again, this is game 9 or 10 of the season. Both teams have been playing for 12 weeks and practicing, so a lot,
Yes.
getting some of the jitters and some of those things out here early on.
And off to Callahan. Callahan tries to turn the corner, and Brett Harvey tracks him down there. Good hit by Brett. And as Harvey's tackle successful on the 39-yard line, they get some of the yardies back, though, and it's 2nd and 7, so they needed 15. Now they need 7,
Yeah,
so good, healthy pickup.
Yeah. Callahan more than half of what's needed to get a first down on that 1st and 15 carry. And, again, Wellsboro here in a favorable second and 7.
Keene back awaiting the snap from center. The snaps have been a lot better here over the last several possessions. But as we say that, we do have another penalty flag being called. Well, I haven't seen that today yet. Tonight you had a delay of game penalty on the Hornets there. And so a lot of the hard work that Callahan did. Now they're back again needing 12 yards. So some of the Wellsboro fans that are in attendance, again, seating limited, 250 people. You have to count the players. You have to count the bands. Such limited seating. But for the fans that are here, a few of the Wellsboro fans a little bit frustrated here over the last couple of plays that the Hornets getting a couple of penalties they felt they shouldn't get. Here is Keene. Keene keeps this one. He bounces off one tackle, cuts it upside, and a good defensive stop there as number 3, Wyatt Wisniewski, made the trip up there.
Yeah, and a good thing, Chris, because if Fabian doesn't trip up Isaac Keene, and I think Isaac Keene may score on that play. He had a lot of room there, but Fabian just able to get enough of his shoe to bring him down.
So 3rd and 7 now. Keene rolling out to his left. Now still dancing around in the backfield. Finds a safety valve man. And there's a late penalty flag coming in. It was going to be 4th down. They had a safety valve pass set up there, but a good coverage play by North Penn Mansfield. But now we've got to see what the penalty is. Neither team seeming to be celebrating right now, so they're not sure who this flag is on. Holding penalty against the Hornets. Of course, Tom Dickinson will say, we're not going to accept that penalty. We're going to force them to punt.
Yep, North Penn Mansfield already into the punt return team, and here comes the Hornet punt team. And, yeah, good coverage that time by the North Penn secondary, Chris, but also Isaac Keene all day to throw that pass. So the Wellsboro Hornet line with doing a good job as well. There's
the snap, and another penalty flag has been thrown. Good booming kick taken by Spencer. He cuts up to the 30, up to the 40, crosses the 42-yard line.
Yeah, this is going to be on Wellsboro. Chris, one of the wideouts was moving on the snap.
And it looks like that might negate a good punt, but Spencer had a good punt return. I wonder if North Penn might just take the ball where it is. They have it on the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Dickinson may elect to decline that one. Yeah, that's going to put, with the additional 5 yards of the penalty, Chris, that's going to put the North Penn Mansfield offense near midfield to start this drive.
And with 4:07 to play in the first half, North Penn Mansfield looking to try to get this game tied up if they can before the half.
Yeah, Wellsboro's done a really good job stopping the run for the most part, Chris. Let's see if North Penn Mansfield tries to air it out here to offset that.
Handoff goes to number 18, Roop. And Roop crosses the 50-yard line. A good tackle by Connor Adams. Adams made a great tackle there.
Yeah, he did. We've called his name a lot tonight, Chris, defensively. He's made a lot of tackles early on here in this first half, and Roop was getting a little bit of steam there. It looked like if he had a chance to bounce one outside, he was going to go a ways. So, yeah, he just had good tackle by Connor Adams.
Connor, not the biggest guy on the field either. Heck of a basketball player as well. He gives 110% each and every play. There's a long pass as they air it out, and the pass broken up. A nice break up there. Will Kibler, who already has an interception, as they tried to get another pass deep to Brandon Thompson, the 6'7" wideout. But Will Kibler giving up a lot of size, and he's only a sophomore. He played that very well.
Yeah, he did. Looked like initially Chris Thompson had a step off the line, and Will Kibler, as you said, already has the pick six on his resume tonight. Made a nice job getting back and knocking that ball away.
And there's a pass to Roop. Roop, he'll cross the 50, maybe pick up a yard or so on the play. And again, Adams on the tackle. And also Joe Brown was there as well for the Hornets, and it's going to be 4th down, and it's going to be a punting situation for Noah Spencer again. So after score in the first 7-8 minutes of this game, we're featuring the punters. We're featuring the punters quite frequently.
Well, some good third down defense by both teams, Chris, and Wellsboro with 2 sophomores back on punt return team here.
There's a beautiful punt by Noah Spencer, fielded on about the 12-yard line, bringing it forward to the 15 and then out to about the 20-yard line. Kibler made the play, and it looked like Wisniewski on the stop. And no flag on this punt. Well, you haven't had too many of those without a flag over the last few minutes.
Well, let's see if Wellsboro, Chris, here with 2:39 to go in the half.
And they have all their timeouts.
Their timeouts at about the 18-yard line. Very capable of going 82 yards and maybe going up into halftime up 2 touchdowns.
That would be a real big momentum swing. Callahan takes the handout, gets some momentum, crosses the 25, gets himself across the 25, maybe to the 26. Noah Spencer on the tackle. They'll spot it right on the 25-yard line. So a good, healthy game. They need 3, but they don't have the luxury of a lot of time as the clock now down to 2:17, and they don't seem to be in a hurry-up offense at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris, for Wellsboro, the last couple possessions, Callahan's been able to get some big gains, and then they turn around and next play they get a 5-yard penalty to offset that. So if they can keep the yellow flags in the referee's pockets this possession, they might have a chance to go down the field.
And there's a keeper by Keene, and Isaac crosses the 30 to the 33-yard line. It looked like Fisher Van Druff was on the tackle along with Brett Harvey. Brett on another tackle. At least I know you're happy about that one. Ball on the 33, but again, Wellsboro not showing urgency. Still with their full complement of timeouts, but the clock now down to 1:35. And taking a lot of time here. They hand the ball off. Not going to be able to get outside too much. There is Adams. Adams pushed out of bounds. Fabian was there along with number 24, and that's Cohen Lehman.
But they do, for Wellsboro, the advantage there, Chris. They gain 2 and stop the clock with Connor Adams getting tackled out of bounds.
Ball on the 35, second down and 8. But I think, Kevin, they're going to need to look for some bigger plays in the waning moments of the half.
Well, I'm going to stick with Coach Hildebrand. He's won 84%.
You're right about
Chris,
that. What do I know? Yes, he's probably going to break this one now for about 75 yards. He does break it for the first down. It is a Callahan run and a Spencer tackle. Noah Spencer makes the tackle. The ball on the 48-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's not forget, Chris, obviously Wellsboro would like to punch it in and go up 2 scores here, 2 touchdowns, but they do have a good kicker.
Yeah.
If they can get into the red zone area, they can get a good attempt at a field goal.
Pass out on the flat. Here goes Connor Adams to the 50, to the 45, and he's pushed out of bounds on about the 42-yard line.
Yeah, right near the first down marker, Chris. Let's see. Yep, they're going to be moving
they're going
the
to
chains.
move the chains. With 51 seconds to go, they still have 3 timeouts left.
And they've stopped the clock again with Adams getting out of bounds. Smart play by the sophomore.
A good safety valve play. They've used that safety valve, Kevin, quite a bit tonight.
Yeah,
just using the speed of Adams and or Callahan to beat the defensive pressure.
Yeah, you lose an Aiden Hauser, Chris, but you've got Isaac Keene back there for his 3rd season as a starter, so that makes a big difference.
Pitch out there. Flag is thrown. Flag on the play. Pitch out to Callahan. Good open field tackle there by Fabian. And there is another flag, and we'll see who this is against.
Well, based on the reaction of the Wellsboro lineman, it looks like this is going to come back as a hold.
Kevin Green had that called perfectly.
And Callahan again, Chris, with a good seam, a good burst up the sideline, and
the ball back now to the 46-yard line with 45 seconds, roughly 44.7 to play.
And Chris, Wellsboro a few drives ago was using that 4 receiver group,
right?
Running some different looks. I anticipate we'll see that here, maybe a different wrinkle off that. Maybe Coach Hildebrand is going to try to draw something up here at the end of the half.
Again, Keene back, lets his pass go complete, finds his open receiver. Zach Singer using his 6'3" height to haul that one in. And they're back into the Panthers side of the field on the 44-yard line.
Yeah, the North Penn Mansfield, Chris, back up a little bit, trying to prevent the big play and a touchdown play, but that pass from Keene to Singer looked pretty easy.
Yep, still need about 12 yards for the first down. But at this point in time,
see if they go back. They've got Singer spread out on the wide side of the field, Chris. Let's see if they don't have something drawn up for him.
And Keene under some pressure, and the ball's intercepted. Was he out of bounds? Brett Harvey with the interception, but Harvey is out of bounds, and it'll be 3rd down now. As they went to the short side of the field there and didn't look in Singer's direction.
Keene rolled out that way. It was a design rollout, and
Brett Harvey read it well, just couldn't keep his feet in bounds.
Yeah, here you go, Chris. Third and 12.
34.7 seconds to go in the football game's first half.
So very significant 3rd down play here in the first half, obviously with 34 seconds to go.
And now timeout taken by Wellsboro. And as we said, Coach Hildebrand will talk the play over there. And really the job that Matt Hildebrand has done at Wellsboro. In fact, there was a trivia question, I guess, that Chris Massey put out there. Everybody knows the dominance in District 4 of Southern Columbia. And over the last 7 years, they may be like 120-0 against District 4 opponents. I don't know. Maybe they lost 1, but probably not more than that. But after that, they said, who is the winningest, who has the highest win percentage in the NTL? And it is 67-14 over the last season, over the last 7 seasons plus. And in every season that Coach Hildebrand's coached at Wellsboro, he's won at least 8 games each year. I mean, he's at a great lineage there with Mike Petropola at quarterback, then Quinn Henry coming in and taking over and teaching those. Matt was a quarterback in college, and now passing along his knowledge to Isaac Keene, as Wellsboro has been blessed with good quarterback play. Of course, North Penn Mansfield, as we said, with the lineage of the Burleys and now Colton Litzelman, they haven't been lacking at the QB position either.
No, and then after this year, I think you've got the super sophomore Carson Dominic next year.
Yeah, we saw Carson last year finishing up his junior high play, and he was impressive.
Well, there's a penalty that really helps the Hornets, Chris, is encroachment penalty against the Panthers, and 5 yards with no time off the clock.
They're down to the 39 now. Isaac Keene with Adams in motion. Again, looking downfield. He's got a man open, and a great defensive play there by Noah Spencer. Noah Spencer with a great defensive play. Zach Singer had his man beat, but coming in from his safety position, it was Spencer to just tick that ball away, and now it's 4th down, and we'll see what Coach Hildebrand dials up for his offense.
Yep, and certainly, Chris, they do believe that the Hornets have 2 timeouts, so they could still utilize the middle of the field if they need to get the enough yardage for the first down and call a timeout. Plenty of time.
There goes Callahan. They stack it up with the blocking there, and Callahan does get out of bounds on about the 35-yard line with 23 seconds to go. But he did not gain enough yardage on the play, and North Penn Mansfield will take over with 23 seconds to go. And does Coach Dickinson play conservative here, or do they try to air it out for at least one play?
I think you try to air it out at least for one play, Chris. And you've got Thompson's had one big play, almost another big play. Worst case scenario, you throw it 50 yards down the field.
Yeah, it's intercepted. It's better than what a punt could have been.
As long as you get the coverage, but just keep in mind, Wellsboro does have those 2 timeouts in their back pocket.
And it looks like they're going to be conservative. Noah Spencer gets the handoff. He's back to his 30, gets a couple yards back, and now with only the 14 seconds to go, that will take care of the first half. It doesn't appear anyone's calling any timeouts. So after a lot of points were scored on the first couple possessions of this game, we haven't anything after that. And after 2 periods of play, it's the Wellsboro Hornets 14, the North Penn Panthers 7. And Kevin, the way it started out for North Penn, I think Coach Dickinson's got to feel pretty happy. Maybe not happy is the right word, but satisfied. Satisfied with the way the first half went, given you didn't have any scrimmages. This is your first game. They're playing their second game. I think Coach Dickinson probably satisfied.
Yeah, I would think he's more than satisfied, although he'll tell you he's not. But, to be on the road at your rival with no fans in the stadium, Chris, and only to be down a touchdown, basically because of an errant 4th down pass on your second possession, or first possession, that Will Kibler picked off and took to the house for 6. Really the difference in the game right now. I think Coach Dickinson's got to be thrilled about his defense at this point and how well they played, especially on 3rd down. So.
And right now, as we start the halftime, it is our pleasure. We're going to pull back a little bit, and you can enjoy Wellsboro Nation. Here is your Wellsboro Hornet Marching Band.
Drum Majors, is the band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, your Hornets marching band. I don't want to hear about all this other stuff. We would have had them keep fun out of us.
Back with Kevin Green and Linda. Just to let you know, we have switched. I am now wearing the Wellsboro blue, or the North Penn Mansfield blue, and Kevin has switched to the Wellsboro green in the interest of détente for the second half of the game. And, of course, the Jones Trophy will be awarded at the conclusion of the game, as Wellsboro has won 8 out of the last 9 trophies that they had. Mansfield, though, came up with a big win last year in the playoffs, though. So Coach Dickinson's team has to have some confidence that they can win on this field, Kevin.
No, absolutely, Chris. And so far in this first half, I think Coach Dickinson's happy with where his team's at, and I think, Chris, if you're Coach Hildebrand, you got off to that hot start, and you had some big plays in the first couple of drives, and a lot of that was Isaac Keene on some draws, and Callahan more or less catching the ball out of the backfield with some really big runs through that. So, and was able to get Zach Singer involved here a little bit late in the second quarter. So we'll see if they'll start opening that up a little bit more here in the second half. But really, Chris, after those first few drives, and we thought the score might be 85-82, it's really nestled into a really good defensive ball game. Both teams doing a really nice job, especially on third downs, and a lot of back and forth, but real good ball game here in the first half.
Our next broadcast on Blue Ridge will be 2 weeks from tonight. That will be October the 2nd, and we look forward to that game as Troy, who was upset by Canton last week. Troy made it all the way to, the district finals last year, and I believe they were like 10-2 for the season and had a lot of their star players back. But Canton, and probably the game of the week, maybe even will turn out to be the game of the year in the NTL, at least the abridged NTL as we know it. They were down 16 points with less than 4 minutes to go against Troy last week at Troy, and they scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes of the game, got 2 two-point conversions, forced a turnover on Troy's first possession of overtime, and then went in for the winning touchdown themselves. So Canton, Troy is probably playing tonight against Towanda with a chip on their shoulder. We apologize. We had hoped to get some scores, but we don't have any scores that have come into us. The only thing we can confirm is that the Athens-Canton game has been postponed. It was postponed just several hours before it was supposed to start. The story we heard was that a parent on one of the teams possibly had tested positive, and so that game was postponed. I guess if everything turns out, I guess the results weren't back yet, so in the with the emphasis on caution, they postponed it for tonight. I guess they could pick it up and play it tomorrow, or even maybe Monday night if they so desired, if everything turned out that it was a negative finding then.
Yeah, that would have been a good game, Chris. Athens, good win over a good Sayre team in week 1, and of course the comeback that Canton had. And if one thing that happened for this unique season that we have, Chris, is certainly a lot of rivalry games in both counties early on. So a lot of fans happy with the games that have been played so far in the matchups.
So as we said, 2 weeks from tonight, we will have the game with Wellsboro and Troy, and then 3 weeks from tonight, it'll be Towanda and Wellsboro. Towanda and Wellsboro 3 weeks from tonight on October the 9th. And as of now, we don't know what would happen after that. Certainly, if there are any NTL playoff games here at Wellsboro, I believe we would be able to broadcast those games. If there's district playoffs, then that gets a little dicey as far as the PIAA getting involved and things like that. But I'm assuming any NTL playoffs that Wellsboro would be fortunate enough to host, we'd be able to bring to you as well with our limited broadcast schedule, with the 6 or 7 game schedule that the teams had. But right now, everything's a work in progress, with no idea yet exactly how the playoff format would run, or if there will be district playoffs. One thing we are fairly sure, at least I was given that impression, Kevin, that they're not going to play any state playoffs, that it would not go beyond district play.
Yeah, well, as Coach Hildebrand told us, Chris, everybody's just going to take it day by day and game by game, and we'll see how the season goes. And if things go well, then hopefully there'll be a chance for, some extended playoffs. But right now we know hopefully we've got football through mid-October.
Yes, exactly. And some of the leagues are playing 8 games. Here it's 6 or 7. The seventh game being if you are playing a team from Lycoming County, such as Muncie or Montgomery or South Williamsport. A little puzzled here, Kevin. The clock has already wound down, and the officials have been out on the field, I would say, for a good 4 or 5 minutes now, and we don't have a football player on either team.
No, we don't.
And
We've got Wellsboro cheerleaders, and we've got the chain crew on the other side of the field.
Yeah,
is
but
ready.
because the clock had already wound down to 0, and nobody's even been out warming up, so I don't know if there's some issue that we all don't know about, but certainly doesn't look like the officials are thinking that there's any issue. But we wait for the appearance of both teams. So, Kevin, we need to make up some scores or something.
Well, unfortunately, we don't.
We've hit a lull here as we search the horizon, and here come the Wellsboro Hornets now. The Hornets are making their appearance now. Hopefully North Penn will be following suit here very quickly, and now they start the 3-minute warning clock to get things going. I guess with this being the first or second game for both teams, I guess getting a little extra latitude to give them a little longer there in the locker room with the timeout. But again, the scoring today, Colton Lehman got a 24-yard touchdown run for North Penn for their score, and then it was Darren Callahan off a 21-yard reception, a pass from Isaac Keene, and then the Will Kibler 46-yard interception on that pass that I know Colton Litzelman wish he had back.
Yep, and Will Kibler, right place, right time, but snared that errant 4th and 1 attempt by the Panthers in and returned it untouched for 6. And right now, Chris, I believe that's the only turnover of the game, and that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, there's been the ball put on the turf a few times, but the offensive team's been able to recover each time. Kevin, a couple really, I guess you would say, sophomore standouts so far tonight. One that has impressed me, obviously, has been the play of number 24, Cohen Lehman. Lehman has played extremely well as a sophomore, and then Will Kibler, who scored the touchdown. Will Kibler, only a sophomore as well, has also excelled. So a couple good debut performances.
A lot of underclassmen have really played big roles in this game here tonight, Chris, for both teams. And as you said, Connor Adams for Wellsboro on both sides of the ball, and a little bit of special teams. Will Kibler, obviously, with the pick 6, Chris, and playing a lot on both sides of the ball and special teams. And, again, Lehman for North Penn Mansfield.
Yeah, yep. Oh, I'm okay, Gary.
And both quarterbacks have looked pretty good, Chris, other than, the 4th and 1 early on for North Penn Mansfield. But Isaac Keene's played a good ball game. Callahan, both coming off that good game last week against Kawaneski Valley, stepped right up here and has been a force for Wellsboro.
Now, if you're Coach Dickinson, what are you looking to do this half on offense? As far as what do you think would be the optimum thing they would try to do to get this game tied and take the lead?
Well, I would think you're going to try to go up top again to Thompson at some point. Wellsboro has really been harassing Cohen Lehman after he got that long touchdown run. He hasn't had a lot of room to run, but I think also you're going to try to get Noah Spencer involved a little bit, and they did that at the end of the first half with a quick hitter. So I would look for those two keys and maybe unleash Litzelman a little bit. That's what I think has been their success over the years, Chris, is airing the football out, and I think that's what they'll look to do here in the second half.
And one thing, that you find, and you find it all over even in 6A schools, but when you're looking at the smaller schools and the other thing you have to realize, so many of these players play both ways. And do you see a fatigue factor possibly coming in, especially North Penn playing their first game tonight? Or do you think that they're conditioned enough that the guys are used to playing both ways and it's not going to really adversely affect them?
Well, it's a cool night out too, Chris, so I don't know what impact that'll have, if any, on the players. But, yeah, you're right. Going both ways, I look to probably see a little bit more substitution, although – sometimes when you do that, Chris, there's sometimes a big drop-off between the person that's going out and you got to have that player on the field.
Yeah, I know everybody talks about the next man up philosophy, but there's a reason the next man up isn't already the man who is up. So we're ready to go now for the second half. They give the teams just a couple more minutes to get settled, and now we are ready with a Poirier kick to start half number 2, and we're underway on the Blue Ridge Cable Television Network, Channel 13. Noah Spencer across the 30, Noah Spencer across the 40, and Noah Spencer out to about the 43-yard line, and that's where it will be first down for the Panthers. Good field position, Kevin, to start the first possession of half number 2.
Yeah, and like we just talked about, Chris, if North Penn wants a quick hit, Spencer's your guy. That's why I think you're going to see them try to increase the touches with Spencer. A good starting field position here in the second half at the 43 for the Panthers.
In the shotgun, it is quarterback Litzelman. Quick pitch out. And something came loose there. It was not the football.
There's a
it was
penalty
a penalty flag that came right down where he was running. And Roop was on the receiving end, but an infraction will be called. And it looks like North Penn Mansfield is walking backwards.
Yeah,
so,
they're going to get Noah Spencer for a hold on the outside.
No indication yet what the call was. No, we have it. Holding. You're right, Kevin. You go like Kevin Green picking up the call perfectly. Holding penalty against the Panthers. They're going to push this ball back now to the North Penn 31-yard line. So first and 20. And obviously not what Coach Dickinson had dialed up for the first play of the second half.
Well, one thing we've seen from both teams early on, Chris, is their ability to handle adversity with, some errant snaps or some penalties. So let's see what they draw up here.
Pass out in the flat for a minimal gain. It looked like, once again, Colton Roop was on the receiving end of the pass. And tackled by Joe Brown. And little or no gain on that play. We're going to say no gain, so it'll still be second down. And about 20 yards. Three wide set. One man in the backfield, and that pass there. Pass was incomplete. Kibler was defending on the play. Receiver not open, and so long third down, and I'm not sure if that would have been completed. There would have been much yardage there as Wellsboro had that play pretty well covered. Brandon Thompson now is checked back in, the 6'7" wide receiver, and we'll see if they look in his direction here.
Yeah, he's guarded by Callahan, Chris, and they look for Thompson up top.
They're airing it out deep, and that pass under good coverage is incomplete. Good coverage again by Will Kibler, as he was right on the Mansfield receiver, and the North Penn receiver can't come up with it. So quick 3 and out for North Penn on that series.
Yeah, good defense there by the Wellsboro Hornets, Chris, and not a lot of room to throw on that series for Litzelman, and quick after the penalty 3 and out with no gain. And, Chris, this doesn't look like Spencer punting. This looks like Fabian this time.
Yes, you're right. Fabian with the kick, and it's fielded on the 41, breaking a tackle and getting into Mansfield territory. A nice return by Will Kibler. Will Kibler making his presence known on both offense and defense right now as he makes a big play there. On the punt return, and Wellsboro has wonderful field position for their first possession on the 39. Wellsboro's won the Jones Trophy 8 out of the last 9 years. North Penn Mansfield wants that in the trophy case for this year, but right now they're going to have to play from behind to do it, as Wellsboro leads by 7, and they have the ball for their first offensive play.
A whole lot of movement there, Chris.
Yeah, they came off the line there pretty well.
We go back to that Kibler return, Chris. First man down for North Penn Mansfield had pretty good coverage. You would have thought it was a little bit of a risk for him to pick that up and run it, but boy, he got by that and got down the sideline for a nice 25-yard gain.
First and 15. Keene back, one man in the backfield. And the handoff is given. Darren Callahan, Brett Harvey with the tackle. Brett the center and linebacker for North Penn. Another great example of a solid two-way player that both of these teams feature.
Yeah, and I know Chris Massey has high expectations for him this year. I'm sure as Coach Dickinson does as well. And I think Brett averaged about 11 tackles a game last year.
Yes, he's got that knack on defense to know where the ball is. It's like a little homing device. Just follow Brett Harvey if you don't know where the ball is, because he's going to find it. Here goes Callahan again. He punches it up the middle.
Well, it didn't look much there for Callahan, but he was able to fight his way for 2 or 3 yards.
Looked like Chaplowski was in on that tackle. And they're bringing up a third down now, so a third down and about 10 yards. So 3rd and 10 now for the Hornets. I would imagine at this point in the field it's probably 2 down possession.
I would think so, Chris. I would think you've got to be able to trust your 3-year starter at quarterback and Callahan and some of the weapons they have, that this is definitely 4 down territory.
Pitch out of the backfield. There goes Callahan again, and he's not going anywhere. And again, who's there but Mr. Brett Harvey? Brett Harvey having outstanding defensive play there, and now needing almost a full 10 yards. Possibly Wellsboro will try to punt and maybe try to pin North Penn Mansfield deeper in their own territory.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the call by Coach Hildebrand as the punt team comes on the field.
And Ryan Sweet now is punting. He did we do have one score coming in. That was 20-0, I believe. Troy over Towanda at halftime. I believe Towanda was shut out last week.
Yeah, Towanda yet to get any points on the board.
And there's Sweet, who is taking over the punting duties here.
Oh, great
Gets
kick.
a beautiful punt. It goes out on about the 11-yard line, so not quite the coffin corner, but still for the underclassman who actually didn't take the first couple punts in the game. He's really punted nicely, and North Penn now needing 89 yards to tie the game.
Yeah, both teams switch punters here to start this third quarter,
Yeah.
Chris. So you had mentioned earlier that the kicking game was abundant with talent, and here we are. We're
your second-string punters.
second round of punters, and they're doing a great job.
And we'll see if the North Penn offense can do a great job here.
Well, Bagacha gets the call here to start the second drive.
Gets about the 18, and the punter, Ryan Sweet, made the tackle. And the ball on about the 18-yard line. Second down for North Penn. Pick up about 7 yards on the play. 2nd and 3. Good, healthy pickup there. 8:38 and counting in the third quarter of play. You're watching Wellsboro North Penn Mansfield football on the Blue Ridge Cable Network. Another handoff. This one again goes to Bogacek. Picks up a couple yards on that play, close to the first down real estate, and they are moving the chain, so it is a first down for North Penn on the 23-yard line where they'll have 1st and 10. So now quarterback Litzman with a little more room to maneuver.
Yeah, that first down, as you said, Chris, gives them a little breathing room. And see, again, if they try to go up top here to Thompson, he's blanketed right now by Callahan, one of the better defenders in the league.
He is back to pass, short yardage pass there. He looked for Roop. Roop thought maybe he was hit on the play before the ball was there, but no penalty called. Joe Brown, nice defensive play there for the Hornets. And
yeah, the Hornets defense making it tough for Litzman to find any room to throw right now here in the second half. They've been blanketing every receiver very well.
And we open up with a 14-7 with the first possessions of the game, and we've gone silent with the offenses since. There's a pass that goes short of the intended receiver. It looked like looking for Roop again. I believe, or was that Spencer? Can't see his number there.
Looked like it was number 20, Spencer.
Noah Spencer, intended receiver. He kind of slipped on the play, but pass was low, and it would have gone incomplete anyway. So now a tough third down play. 3rd and 10 as we're coming to closing out on the halfway point of quarter number 3, and the Hornets holding the 14-7 lead as they look to go 2-0 on this young season. And hard to believe for Wellsboro, a third of the season will be completed after tonight's game. And there's a draw play. And getting a couple yards, and now spinning away is Lehman, and there goes Lehman, and Lehman across the 40 to the 45-yard line. The super sophomore Cohen Lehman with a big booming run.
Yeah, it looked like the Wellsboro Hornets had him stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage, Chris. He was able to slip a tackle and get into some open field and get enough real estate for the first down.
I'm impressed with this young sophomore who's definitely having an excellent game in this rivalry week spot.
Chris, I was just before that play, I was just looking at the 5 defensive backs for Wellsboro who've done a great job this second half, all underclassmen.
Yeah, Wellsboro had a lot of turnover from last year to this year, but with Coach Hildebrand at the helm, they're showing how tough they are. Lehman cannot get outside on that play. Ryan Sweet.
Called his name a lot here in the second half, Chris.
Yeah, he's been all over the place. In addition to punting, a loss of a yard on that play. 2nd and 11.
Well, that's one thing you're going to have a hard time doing with Wellsboro defensively, Chris. They're very, very fast, like we said, especially in that secondary. And going east to west on that team is going to be near impossible to do.
Lehman back, pressure coming. And there's a pass breakup.
Kibler, Chris. He's having himself a game.
Whew, is he ever? He's like Brett Harvey. He's got a nose for the football.
Hey, that's a sophomore guard. Right now, he's guarding Noah Spencer. I mean, Noah Spencer, one of the best athletes in not only the Northern Tier League, but in District 4.
Yeah, and Kibler staying right with him,
Absolutely.
step for step. So a challenging 3rd and 11 now for North Penn Mansfield as they try to get the first down here to keep possession of the football. They do hand it to Lehman. Does Lehman have more magic in his legs? Well, he gets across the 50 to the 49, and it's going to be about 5 yards short on that play. And what will Coach Dickinson call here? It looks like he is going to punt. A little bit too dangerous. If the 4th quarter, maybe you go for it here, but
certainly,
3rd
Chris,
quarter, probably not.
Lehman's running there. One thing that he's done for North Penn is he's flipped the field position now.
Yeah.
So the one advantage he's done by picking up those big runs is, they have the opportunity to pin Wellsboro deep.
And Noah Spencer back punting again. And the ball's fumbled, but it's picked up by, look like 15.
Kibler, yeah.
And Kibler will be sacked, though, back on the 5-yard line.
Well, fortunately for Kibler, he was able to regain possession, but unfortunately it pins Wellsboro at the 5-yard line to start this drive.
And a lot of credit there goes to Colton Roop. Roop was right on that play. Again, the ball hits the ground, but Wellsboro hasn't lost any of the fumbles.
Well, Chris, you go from Ryan Sweet, who had a great punt, to put North Penn Mansfield at the 11.
Yeah.
Now you're down to Wellsboro starting at the 5. So we'll see which team can capitalize, if North Penn Mansfield can keep Wellsboro pinned deep, or Wellsboro can get a good drive.
And they pin him back on that play. Callahan on the carry, little or no gain.
And Callahan is down, Chris. Boy, I hope this is just
Ryan Wilson. Wilson made the tackle.
Hope this is just a cramp, Chris.
Oh my goodness, yes, definitely. If you're holding your breath, if you're a Wellsboro fan or a fan of good football, it looks like he's pretty good. Yeah,
it looks like a cramp. And notice a couple of guys in the last couple of drives, Chris, seem to be slipping a little bit. Callahan seemed to almost go down before any contact.
Hopefully it is just a cramp. Obviously it is a leg issue. We don't want to speculate. But the way Callahan's played defense as well as offense, there's a big two-way player who.
Hopefully it looks like they're maybe stretching out his calf, I hope, Chris.
Well, certainly you don't want to see anybody hurt, and you certainly hope he can return tonight and certainly return for the rest of the season. And return for basketball because he's also a member of Coach Adams' Wellsboro Hornet basketball team.
Well, he's a heck of a baseball player as well. So,
in other words, you're just saying he's your basic star sport athlete.
Yeah.
So again, Darren Callahan, the injured Wellsboro player. And now looks like he's getting up on his own. And looks like he is walking off under his own power, and that is great to see. Darren Callahan walking under his own power, and hopefully he'll be back in the game, but I'm sure he'll get a breather here.
Yeah, and Wellsboro, fortunately too, Chris, with some depth, and I think they'll bring in senior Nick Smith will probably take some snaps here.
Yes, we heard Nick Smith was going to be featured somewhat tonight, and we haven't called his name yet, but we'll see now. But they're back on the 3-yard line, so here's where North Penn could change the game right now. They've pushed Wellsboro back to the 3, and Keene keeps it coming out of the end zone. Not a lot of yardage on that play. Looked like Coleman Jelliff was in on the tackle. And where are we spotting this, Kevin? On about the 4?
Looks like it's at the 4. Yep, 3rd and 11 from the 4.
3rd and 11 from the 4. So North Penn, if they can play defense on this play, they will get the ball in excellent field position. 5:30 and counting in quarter number 3.
And looks like a Wellsboro timeout here, Chris.
Timeout taken by Wellsboro. And if you're looking for a great way to pay for home improvements, consider a home equity loan from First Citizens Community Bank. Find out how much you can afford to borrow when you pre-qualify for free at themortgagemadesimple.com. Mortgagesmadesimple.com website. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That's First Citizens Community Bank. And we thank them for their sponsorship of North Penn Wellsboro football this evening and the Wellsboro football schedule on our slate of 3 for this year. So a timeout there for Coach Hildebrand to, I guess, talk about whether to gamble or be conservative on this call.
Well, you haven't had much room to operate here. You're pinned deep, Chris, and and right now, arguably your best weapon out of the backfield is on the sideline. But Coach Hildebrand didn't win 84% of his games by not taking any chances.
That's right. We'll see. He's got a little bit of Kenny Rogers gambler in him.
So, Chris, with a lot of these guys, they can play both ways. We've seen that with the punters and some other things. But, Connor Adams is a kid who's played quarterback in his time.
Okay.
So you've got some options like that. If you needed a trick player to look at something like that, you could consider it. But this is Keene all the way.
And Isaac Keene on the carry. But he does not gain any positive real estate at all, and he's bottled up close to the line of scrimmage, and Wellsboro is going to be forced to punt from their end zone.
Well, if Ryan Sweet can get a booming punt off like he did the last time, Chris, they should be in good shape. But you got to be careful. You don't want to out punt your coverage here, Chris, and give Noah Spencer a 10 or 15.
Spencer's not expecting a deep kick. He's standing on the Wellsboro 30.
Well,
he's on the Wellsboro 30 waiting this punt, so North Penn Mansfield may get excellent field position. Here comes the rush. It's a solid kick, and it will send Spencer back. It takes a Wellsboro bounce. He fields it on the 45. Spencer to the 40. Spencer to the 36-yard line where he's bumped out of bounds there. And it'll be first down as Spencer Wetzel makes the tackle. They are still working on Callahan's leg, Kevin, there on the sideline.
Well, that would be something to keep an eye on, Chris. He's been covering Thompson, who's had a couple big catch and a near catch for the Panthers. Let's see if Coach Dickinson maybe takes advantage of that right now.
And he's sitting up now, and now he is getting up, and that's great. So looks like Looks like he may be coming back in. His helmet is off right now.
And they moved, I think, Keene over to cover Spencer, Chris. And Kibler's moved over to take on Thompson.
Here goes Lehman, and Lehman will not go anywhere as a swarming Hornet defense comes up with a big play.
Yeah, number 6, Connor Burrell, Chris, was all over that play right from the get-go.
And another Wellsboro sophomore.
Yeah.
Back on the 42, little or no game. As a good stop there by the Hornets as we're down to 4:10 to play.
Yeah, Lehman's had a couple of big runs, Chris, but other than that, they've bottled him up.
And now we'll see what the Panthers dial up. 3:55 to go, quarter number 3. He throws that one up for grabs, and Thompson tried to use his 7 height to get it. That was kind of just put up there, but it was a little bit too high and out of bounds, so it's now going to be a 3rd down play, and they need 15 yards. So Wellsboro defense coming up strong here as North
Spencer
Penn
Wetzel
Mansfield
over
had the
there.
ball, and they haven't been able to move it forward.
No, it's been tough sledding for the Panthers, Chris. Not a lot of room to operate, and running game's been stopped for the most part, and Litzelman been under a lot of pressure. And see if they're able to do anything here on this 3rd and 15 from the Hornet 42-yard line.
And down goes Roop on the 45 on the play.
Well,
and,
circle that possession, Chris.
Yeah,
when you
that
had the ball at your own at the Wellsboro 36 to start the drive, and Wellsboro's defense stiffened, did a good job.
Yeah, nothing good came from that possession as North Penn Mansfield was stymied and lost yardage on it.
Spencer
and,
back.
Spencer gets a booming kick, and that goes into the end zone, though, so he almost too good a punt there,
Yeah.
especially when you're punting from the other team's territory.
He tried to get it in the corner.
And boy, almost. I thought that was going to be an amazing corner kick, but it goes into the end zone. So Wellsboro survives having to punt from deep in their end zone, and they'll get the ball back on their 20-yard line with the lead holding at 7. Again, touchdowns galore in the first 6-7 minutes of this game, and just like the rainfall lately, we've been under drought conditions.
Well, maybe we'll get an overtime game. Maybe we'll get a Blue Ridge Classic to start the season, Chris.
Well, that would be kind of sweet. Maybe Ryan Sweet would be the hero. Misdirection play, pitch out there. Oh, and a good tackle there. Can't see who made that one there. Can you, Kevin?
Looked like number 61.
Jelliff again? Wow. But there's a flag on the
Penalty
field.
flag down.
See what this call is going to be. It was a loss of 5 on the play, so if it's against Wellsboro, I would assume North Penn Mansfield would decline it because there was a loss of yardage. I'd be surprised if they took it.
Well, they're looking over to the North Penn sideline, so all indications this is a hold on Wellsboro.
Oh, do you take the 10 yards for 1st and 20? Yep, they decline it, which is what I assume they would do there. You don't want to give them an extra play. So 2nd and 15. Callahan remains on the sideline, but he is walking around.
Well, here comes that formation we saw a little bit in the first half, Chris, with the 4 wideouts bunched together. And right now, North Penn Mansfield only has 3 guys over there.
Yes, you're right. Keene awaiting the snap, gets it. And the ball's picked off, and a touchdown is taken by the Panthers as a big mistake there. And North Penn Mansfield says what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess, as they walk in with a touchdown off of an errant throw. And the touchdown recorded by Brian Bogacek.
Yeah, Bogacek jumped that pass all the way, whether it was intended or not. And clearly there was some sort of a miscommunication on that play because Wellsboro had North Penn outnumbered to begin with. And the pass almost was to Bogacek.
So a 15-yard pass interception for a touchdown to Bogacek as he read that play perfectly, and now North Penn Mansfield looks to tie this game at 14 apiece, as both teams now have scored off a turnover on a pass in the flat. Here's the kick out of the Bogacek hold, and it is perfect by Alexander. Boy, he boomed that. That would have been good for him about 40 yards. So with 2:37 to go in the third quarter, it is now North Penn Mansfield 14 and Wellsboro 14. And Kevin, I guess Coach Hildebrand's just got to tell Coach quarterback Keene, just shake it off. You know, it's in the past.
Yep.
It's in the past. We can't have a do-over, so let's go out and win this football game now.
Well, it's your ball again, Chris, so you get to regroup and take possession. So it's a new series, but certainly not having Callahan in there those last 7 or 8 plays have.
Yeah.
You've seen that the result has been minimal yardage gained by the Hornets here.
Well, he just put his helmet on. He kind of was running in place a little bit, and he just put his helmet on. So we'll see if Darren Callahan does return for the Hornets or not. He's moving around there. He seems to be moving pretty well, but we'll have to see. So with a 14-14 tie, 2:37 to play in quarter number 3, North Penn to kick off to Wellsboro. Alexander looking to boom it deep, and he does just that.
Yeah, I think North Penn Mansfield was offsides.
I just want to get a little head start there to make the tackle. Looked like he hesitated maybe just a little bit there, and the team plowed ahead, so I'll have to kick again from the 35-yard line.
Well, a little bit more room for Kibler and Adams to navigate back there, Chris.
Only one score that we had come in so far, and that was Troy leading Towanda by 20 at the half. And we'll do it over from the 35. Long line drive kick, fielded on about the 10-yard line. And it looks like number 15 does it again, Will Kibler. And Kibler returns it out across the 35-yard line. Looked like he was run out of there by, it looked like Roop was one of those who ran him out of bounds along with Fabian.
Callahan has re-entered the game, Chris, so that's a good sign, obviously, for him and the Wellsboro faithful.
Yep, Wellsboro Ray, we want to give you a shout-out down. I know you're watching on the streaming down there in Allentown. Kevin, he's a little bit on the older side. I believe he graduated, I think he graduated from Wellsboro probably around the end of the Civil War. So he's got a few years on everybody, but he still is a passionate Wellsboro fan living in living in Allentown. And rooting for Wellsboro, but Keene puts the ball on the ground again, and luckily for Wellsboro, he's able to fall on it and recover. So Wellsboro's probably put the ball on the ground about 6 times tonight. But North Penn
able
Mansfield,
to keep every
yeah,
one
they
of
kept
them,
every
though,
one
Chris.
of them.
Yep. See if they get something going here with Singer. They've
Yeah, he's been quiet.
Been quiet, and I think he's he may have a matchup to take advantage of. And here, I think he comes here to the near side. And see if they look to get him going. He's got a height advantage.
Yeah, that's 6'3". And they send Connor Adams in motion. Dropping back and there's going to be a sack. As he dropped back, he may have been looking in the direction of Singer, but before he could get a pass off, Fisher Van Druff says hello. And Van Druff with the tackle, and the ball's back on the 25-yard line. And they've slammed it in reverse a bit now, and it's 3rd and 21 as the momentum has shifted a bit. And the Panther players on the sideline now exhorting their squad as North Penn Mansfield looking to take the ball back. Wellsboro needs a big play here. They need 21 yards. Keene keeps it. And it's a nice pickup, but it's not going to get you 21. And he's out to about the 34-yard line, but well short of the first down. It looked like Chaplowski was there on the tackle, the 6'1", 300-pound senior, making his presence felt. And in the last minute of play in quarter number 3, Wellsboro back to punt, and now they go to Poirier. Sweet, who's had some booming
we've done
kicks.
some switcheroos with the punters here, Chris.
Yeah. Poirier back on for this kick. But there's another whistle.
Is that going to be a delay of game?
I didn't see the clock. I don't know. It's still got 25 on it. Well, fortunately for North Penn Mansfield, they needed 13 because there's a 5-yard penalty on the Panthers. So it'll be 4th and 8 now from about the 37-yard line. There's the snap. Gets it away. Good, solid
nice
kick. Spencer takes it on the 27, crosses the 30 to the 37, and he's dragged down there. Tackled on the play by number 73, it looks like, who is... We'll wait till the call because we don't have a 73 on our roster sheet. But that is 73, so... Mr. Number 73 made the tackle.
Well, I've got him as Landon.
You got a 73?
Landon Getch.
Oh, okay. If you got him, we'll take him.
We're giving him credit for it.
Gets the tackle on the play for the Hornets as Getch brings down Spencer, who had a little bit of room on that play. And there goes the handoff to Bogacek. Bogacek now getting some of the carries after getting that intercepted pass for the touchdown. And he crosses the 45, right to the 45, and that will bring the third quarter to its conclusion. We played 3 quarters of this rivalry week football game. You have North Penn Mansfield with 14 points. You have Wellsboro with 14 points with 12 minutes to play. This broadcast, again, sponsored by First Citizens Community Bank, one of the top-performing community banks in the nation. Visit myfccb.com to learn more about First Citizens Community Bank. First Citizens Community Bank, member FDIC. So Kevin Green, 14-14, North Penn making the comeback from 14-0. It should be a heck of a fourth quarter for us.
Yeah, defense in the last 2.5 quarters, Chris, has just been phenomenal, and North Penn Mansfield able to capitalize on the Bogacek pick 6 to tie the game up. But it's going to be which team can find a little bit of an offensive spark or who can find a seam to get some things moving. And tough sledding for both teams here in the last quarter and a half or so.
Well, we know that they're on edge down in Blossburg right now at the plaza. A lot of fans taking advantage of a big screen that was put in the plaza tonight. Free popcorn, free sodas being provided. Great community spirit being shown there. And I know we've got a lot of fans watching tonight along the Blue Ridge Network and the streaming service in Wellsboro. And a break on the play, and that's a nice run there. Thought I saw a penalty flag, but there is not any penalty flag, and Bogacek's able to craft his way to a 1st and 10.
Yeah, Coach Dixon mixing and matching his running backs here, Chris, and this time it's Bogacek who's got a benefit of some good runs. And
Lehman was getting the carries, but Bogacek now is the Energizer Bunny.
Well, it's a little bit of that mix versus or speed versus power, right?
Yes. Here's Litzelman back to pass. He's going for a home run ball. Long pass downfield. Batted away. Will Kibler just has this instinct as he kept right with the North Penn receiver stride for stride and batted it away perfectly.
Yeah, Will Kilbert's going to be one of the happiest guys to go watch film on Monday, Chris.
I guess he's going to get I know Wellsboro doesn't put the stars on the helmet as some other teams do, but he'd be picking up a pack of stars, I guess, if they did such a thing.
Yeah, he's given up a lot of height to Thompson as well.
And there goes Bogacek, though. Bogacek crosses the 35, close to a 1st down. Nice pickup by Bogacek. He's going to come up short. It's going to be 3rd and 1. They're going hurry up right now. Hurry up offense in play. Right to the line of scrimmage goes Litzelman. Handing it off again to Bogacic. Bogacic crosses the 25. Bogacic down inside the 20. Bogacic will not be denied. He's inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. Brian Bogacic running full speed ahead. They want that Jones Trophy back in North Penn Mansfield's possession right now. They seem to have Wellsboro pinned back a little bit right now as they've had a burst of enthusiasm.
Well, Wellsboro's done a great job defending the pass, and up until this drive, North Penn Mansfield had unable to get anything going, but finding some room running the ball.
Rupa, but a nice open field tackle there.
And Wellsboro is saying there's a loose ball.
Apparently they're saying that he was down on the play.
Yeah, certainly, Chris. Another
fortunate there.
Another nice open field tackle by Connor Adams.
Adams thought that he had created a turnover there, but they're saying that he was down on the play prior to the ball coming loose. His knee was on the ground. As we bring up a significant 2nd and 9 call here, I'm sure Coach Dickinson doesn't want to have to settle for the field goal. Would love to get the 6 or 7 points. But you'll take the 3, obviously, if you need to. And there goes Lehman. Lehman goes forward, but not very far as the Wellsboro defense is stiffening as a swarm of Hornets, as Steve Adams says, in on that tackle, and that's an accurate description. And it looks like Lehman's banged up a little bit here, and there's a Wellsboro player down as well. So some tough hitting right here, as I don't see the number of the Wellsboro player. Hopefully Lehman is all right. The Wellsboro player is sitting up. And fortunately, both teams have been somewhat injury-free tonight, and especially for North Penn Mansfield being the first game in that, because you saw so many players in the NFL go down this week when they were playing their first game. And it looks like possibly it's a cramp on Lehman. We don't want to speculate. And it looks like it could be a cramp on the Wellsboro player, too.
Well, it was a big collision out there on that run, Chris, and Lehman got about 1.5 yards before about 6 Hornets.
Yeah, swarmed on him. Both trainers are still out there with their respective players as teams taking a knee on the sidelines. Again, hopefully that's all it is, a cramp. 9:55 to play in the football game. We're tied at 14 apiece. I would say, Kevin, there's maybe 50, 60 people up on the hill watching tonight, probably a combination of North Penn Mansfield and Wellsboro fans, as limited seating with the 250 capacity and having to count the players, the officials, the band, people in the press box. It doesn't give you much room for getting tickets distributed.
No, that's going to be a challenge all year, unfortunately, Chris, and certainly going to cause a lot of ill feelings for people who want to go to the games, and a lot of parents being denied and family members being denied the opportunity to go to the games. But as when Coach Hildebrand talked to you and I the other day, one of the things that they are fortunate about is that they're playing a game.
Yes, yes. And the Wellsboro player is up, and the North Penn Mansfield player is up. Both guys are up. Both are limping off. That's number. Is that number 50 for Wellsboro there? Cameron Butler.
Hard to tell if that's 50 or 60, Chris.
Yeah, the Wellsboro uniform's a little tough to read there.
But good to see both players up.
Yeah.
Lieben looks to be walking off on his own.
Yeah, both of them are now that they're walking off.
Good sign.
Yeah, and he's running. Maybe we can see now if it's 50 or 60. I think I'm going to go with 60 now. Danny Timmons. Danny Timmons is up, though. Here's the play. Back to pass. Litzelman. Litzelman going into the end zone, and that pass sails out of the end zone, incomplete. And that'll be a 4th down play. So North Penn Mansfield looks to take their first lead on a field goal attempt.
Well, good defensive hold there, Chris, for the Wellsboro Hornets to keep it down just to a field goal opportunity for North Penn Mansfield, and that's a heads-up play by Colton Litzelman just to throw that ball away.
This will be a 32-yard attempt for an excellent kicker, Kevin Alexander. Alexander from about 32 will kick it from the 22. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. And that is a booming kick that would have been good from about 45, I'm going to say. No doubt about that one. And the North Penn Panthers have edged ahead. It's now 17-14 on the 32-yard kick by Alexander.
Well, Chris, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, both teams have the ability to win this game by a field goal kicker, and North Penn Mansfield's Kevin Alexander with a booming kick to give them a 3-point lead, but Wellsboro has Jack Poirier on their sideline, and he's very capable of tying this game up.
And Singer, a good kicker as well. Well, another score that Steve Adams is reading off will pass on to you. In the second half, it's Wyalusing 40 and Kawaneski Valley 14. And again, the Canton-Athens game postponed tonight, which means Sayre was on the bye week. So here we go. Alexander looking to kick it deep. Booming kick fielded on about the 10-yard line. And there goes Kibler, and Kibler is not going to hit the 20 as North Penn Mansfield coming up strong. Ashton Demarat makes the tackle, and Wellsboro will put it in play. Well, they will mark it on the 20, right on the 20. So that's where the Hornets will take over with 9:32 left in the fourth quarter, 17-14 Panthers. And the Wellsboro offense has been stymied ever since the midpoint of the first quarter.
Well, see if they can't get Callahan going here a little bit. Again, still try to get Singer involved in the jet sweep here to Connor Adams.
And there's a penalty flag thrown. Brett Harvey tracks him down, but there is a flag on the play. We'll have to see what that is. Little or no gain, as we'll have to wait and see if that's where that penalty is going to be assessed to. One of the North Penn players up a little bit gingerly there.
That's Chaplowski.
Yeah, that's Chaplowski, Logan Chaplowski.
He's stretching too, Chris.
Yeah, everybody getting cramps here. He's stretching off of one of the players. He's stretching right off of Coleman Jelliff.
Well, and he's going to step out for a minute.
So the penalty is a big one on Wellsboro. They're going to walk it off inside the 10-yard line. And even though there was just a minimal pickup, Coach Dickinson feeling, with that being a 10-yard walk-off and the Wellsboro offense sputtering a little bit, that he would accept that penalty. First down and 25 from the 8. Handoff goes to Callahan. He tries to break the containment, and he crosses the 10 to about the 13, and another flag being thrown on the play. Now we got to watch what this penalty is. I thought it might possibly could have maybe been a face mask in there.
Personal foul.
Yes, face mask call.
Mr. Vaughn.
Pulled that one out, didn't I? Face mask call, and that negates the other penalty. And we're going to march this one off and give Wellsboro, I believe, a first down or close to it. No, it will be second down, but second down and 1 beats second down and over 20.
Yeah, and that might be the break that the Wellsboro Hornet offense needed, Chris, to maybe get something going here with 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Sending Adams in motion again. Handoff goes to Nick Smith. Nick Smith gets the carry there, and Nick Smith with a nice opening, and he crosses the 30 for a first down. Tackle on the play by Fisher Van Druff, and it's a first down on the 34. Brett Harvey was also there, but not before the chains are moved, and that's a Hornet 1st and 10.
Yeah, both teams here the last drive finding some running room inside, Chris, and Hornets able to pick up the first down.
Well, Nick Smith certainly has fresh legs. If he's going to get some of the carries here now, Nick, senior running back. And another penalty thrown. False start against the offense, and now it's going to be 15 yards. We've seen a lot of laundry on the field tonight, Kevin. The officials not letting much slide.
Well, and some of those are unfortunately obvious ones, Chris, the false starts. But again, Wellsboro just gets a little bit of momentum going. And
another cramp, excuse me, Kevin. Yeah. Now another Wellsboro offensive lineman, couldn't see what number he is. He hobbled off, and he's being worked on now. A lot of cramping here in this fourth quarter as he's having his leg worked on. Keene with a man open, and he just couldn't connect. He had his man beat, and that was Zach Singer. Zach Singer had to step on the defense, but just out of the hands of Singer, and Singer goes 6'3". So,
yeah, he
extended as far as he could.
That was a touchdown, Chris. Singer clearly had his man beat, and Keene just overthrew him. But I bet you we'll see that play again.
Yeah, I think before the end we'll see it. That was Wyatt Gastrock, the offensive lineman, who had come over to the sideline for Wellsboro there with the cramp, but he's up and moving around quite nicely now, which is a good sign. And here we go again, getting into the backfield on a botched play, but what do we got? Oh, delay of game call. Haven't seen too many delay of games tonight, but we have one here.
Well, Wellsboro again, Chris, another penalty.
Yeah.
Now they're back to 2nd and long and hurting themselves here.
2nd and 20 on the 24.
A little bit of drive started to get going here after the face mask penalty on North Penn Mansfield. But again, let's see if they look at Singer here, Chris.
Keene back to pass, looking in Singer's direction. Now forced out of the pocket, letting it go. He's got Singer, and Singer crosses the 50-yard line. Nice play there. Noah Spencer on the tackle. Good call, Kevin. And Singer crosses the 50 to the 49-yard line. 7:41 to go, and the Hornets is one of the bigger plays since the first quarter.
Yeah, good job by Singer, too, on that play, Chris. It kind of broke down initially. Keene kept it alive, and Singer came back to the ball, did a good job to pick up the first down.
And again, Adams goes in motion, snap to Keene. Keene looking back, pedaling again, throws a pass. Oh, dangerous pass there. Broken up nicely by Ryan Wilson. Wilson got his hands on that football. Fortunately for Wellsboro, he couldn't quite control it, but a nice pass breakup.
Yeah, I'd like to see if they put Singer. Well, Singer's going to come short side again, Chris. I was thinking maybe they'd take him on the wide side, let him go one-on-one. But Callahan back in the backfield, Chris. They've had some success with him catching the ball out of the backfield. Let's see if they look in his direction.
Snap taken, fake the handoff to Adams. Keeping the football is Keene. Keene crosses the 45-yard line. Chaplowski, good to see Chaplowski right back in the game, and he gets up, and now up a little bit gingerly is Coleman Jelliff, but he's up, and he is going to come out for a play, though. Nope, he headed off, but he didn't come off. Somebody's come out. Looks like Logan Mackley's coming out, not Logan Chaplowski. Mackley's out of the game.
Yeah, if Wellsboro would have been in a quick snap there, they would have got
Yeah.
North Penn with
Yeah.
too many men on the field.
Yep, 3rd and 6. Big play here for the Hornets. Is it 4-down territory? We'll see if we'll find that out or not. And the handoff goes, and that is bottled up by Brett Harvey. Brett Harvey tackles Nick Smith right at the line of scrimmage, and Harvey's going to force Wellsboro to make a decision whether they go for it here or not.
Yeah, it looks like the punt team's coming in, Chris. Yeah, it looks like Sweet's back deep, and Wellsboro's defense has played really well the second half. I think Coach Hildebrand's going to play the percentages here, and you pin them deep.
Yeah, you do have two timeouts. They did
Yeah.
use one of their timeouts earlier.
You get a chance to go 3 and out and get the ball back in good field position, plenty of time.
Not any pass rush. The kick hits on the 30, not the strongest of kicks, and it's going to go out of bounds on the 35-yard line. So a net of about 13 yards on that punt. We've had some great punts tonight, but North Penn will say thank you very much and take the ball in the 35. And now the Wellsboro defense needs to hunker down. The North Penn offense, we might get a steady diet of Bogacek.
I think after the last couple possessions, and I'm certain that the Wellsboro Hornets are going to be thinking the same thing, Chris. I'll bet you you're going to see a lot of Joe Brown stunts here.
There's the handoff to Bogacek, and Bogacek gets across the 35 to the 38. Pick of about 3 yards, and the clock will be running. We'll see if Coach Dickinson has his quarterback milk the 35-second clock.
That's not usually their MO, Chris. Normally it's attack,
Right, yeah.
and
But
which plays into the defense's hands. Let's see what he does.
already they've got it down to 15, which by their standards is
He is milking the clock.
yeah, it's milking the clock. Down to 10 seconds now. They don't seem to be in any hurry here. They do hand it again to Bogacek. Bogacek tries to find a seam, and Wellsboro says no, no, no.
Yeah. Now you've got a big 3rd down decision here, Chris.
Joe Brown makes the tackle, and the clock continues to run. The next snap will come with less than 5 minutes to go. Good to see Timmons back in. Danny Timmons, he makes the tackle with Joe Brown. The ball's on the 40. They got to get to the 40, just beyond the 45 a little bit. So we'll call it 3rd and a long 5 or a short 6, whatever you prefer. 4:50 to go. Looks like they're calling an audible at the line, changing the play up. They hand it off again, and this play is going nowhere as Wellsboro does what they need to do. 3 handoffs to Bogacek don't work, and it'll be 4th down. As Wellsboro was ready for that one as well, as looked like Sweet made that tackle.
67 was in there as well,
67
Chris.
as well, and that's Axel Madison.
Yeah, that's a
Axel
good play.
Madison coming up with a big play, and now we'll see if Spencer takes the 4th down play down. I doubt if North Penn will snap it till there's less than 4 minutes to go.
Well, let's see if they keep it away from Kibler. Kibler's made a few plays back there tonight, Chris.
He has.
Connor
5
Adams
seconds to get it
always a
snapped. They
threat.
do get it, and a line drive kick. And Kibler takes it on the 25, 30, 35, 40, across the 45-yard line. And that's where Wellsboro will take it, right? Well, they'll call it on the 44. So Wellsboro has it on the 44 as the Wellsboro Nation watching on the streaming service tonight, along with the fans on Blue Ridge. We got a great 3 minutes and 48 seconds to bring you.
Well, here you go, Chris. Season opener for North Penn Mansfield. Home opener for the Wellsboro Hornets coming down to the last 4 minutes. Again, if you're Wellsboro, you want to get the W on this drive, but you do have a kicker that can at least tie it. Well, let's see what...
We'll see what Coach Hildebrand dials up for his quarterback, Isaac Keene.
I'd be looking for Singer.
Yeah, they don't have... He's in single coverage. But they run it to Callahan, and Callahan's going to cross the 45, close to the 50. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to mark it right at the 50-yard line. So Callahan with a nice burst out to the 50, 2nd and 4, right from midfield, 3:30 to go.
6 yards a pop.
Yeah.
And, as they used to say, if we can get 6 yards a pop, we're going to keep running until you stop it.
Of course, they don't have the super luxury of a lot of time for even the 6 yards and a pop if they're looking to win this game. They might have to go airborne a little bit, not in any hurry, though, with the 3:10 to go. There goes Callahan again, and Callahan this time is denied. The defense led by Brett Harvey. Brett Harvey with another tackle. As the Wellsboro senior, I know Simmons and Harvey families like that big stop on Callahan. 2:45 and counting.
Well, and Christian, you're getting to territory where Coach Hildebrand is going to have to make a decision.
Yes. I think you got to go now on fourth down because you're taking too much time.
Midfield, 2 timeouts remain, but you're almost.
The way they're taking time on these plays, it almost demands that you go for it on fourth down because the snap's coming with 2:25 to play. Third down. Can they get the first down? Keen's pass tipped and almost caught.
Wow, what an effort
but
over
it
there,
does hit
Chris.
the ground. It does hit the ground as that pass was tipped, and now it's a huge fourth down for the Hornets.
Ryan Sweet, everybody thought that ball was just going to get knocked down, and Ryan Sweet almost
came up with a huge catch, and that would have been a first down too.
Well,
so it comes down to this, fourth down and
does stop the clock.
6. Or fourth down and 4, I should say, from the 50. Wellsboro not using a timeout here. Everybody on the edge of their seat, whether you're wearing blue or you're wearing green right now, this is the play of the game. Here's the snap to Keen. Keen rolling out, still rolling, looking. He's going to try to run it, and he's not going to get the first down. That defense of the Panthers has held. North Penn Mansfield will take over the football as North Penn Mansfield comes up with the plays. It looks like it was Cohen Lehman. Brett Harvey was in the area as well. But Lehman, it looked like, got the first hit on Keene. And on downs, North Penn Mansfield takes over on the 49-yard line. And obviously Wellsboro needs to use their 2 timeouts right now.
Yep, and I would, in years past, Chris, North Penn Mansfield would traditionally just keep throwing, but I think they've shown tonight they're going to try to force Wellsboro to use their remaining 2 timeouts. But more importantly, Chris, you got to keep the ball. We've seen the ball on the ground a lot tonight,
have.
So there may be an opportunity.
Again, but Bagacic takes the handoff. Sweet's trying to rip the ball
Yes,
away.
is.
Smart play there. Smart play by Ryan Sweet. He tried to yank that ball right out, but Bagacic was not giving up. And timeout taken with 1:59 to go, a loss of a yard on the play. So North Penn Mansfield, if nothing else, will force Wellsboro to use all their timeouts. And they're going to move it back above 2 minutes where the timeout was called. And so I think they said to move it up to 2:04. But you got to give Ryan Sweet credit, boy. He tried to rip that ball out of there.
Smart play.
He was tugging for all it was worth. 46-21 now, while losing over Kalinitsky Valley in the fourth quarter. And I'm sure Coach Dickinson's saying, hold on to the pigskin.
Yep, and Coach Hildebrand saying, get the pigskin.
Rip that elusive pigskin away.
Well, and if you're Coach Hildebrand, do you have a punt block in your repertoire? Because that may be the play that you need.
Yeah. I imagine if Coach Dickinson won a game, boy, if you fake the handoff to Bagacic, because I'm sure they're looking for that, and throw a deep ball. But that is not going to happen. Bagacic is going to get sacked again as he takes the handoff. As the tackle there, again, Joe Brown comes right in and makes the tackle.
Well, and Bagacic lost his helmet, Chris, so he's got to leave the field for a play. Although Wellsboro does call a timeout.
Yeah, that's it. Wellsboro out of timeouts now. Bagacic will be out of the game, so it'll probably come down to Lehman now.
Wellsboro did not take a timeout.
Oh, no, they didn't. They did not take. The clock is restarting. They're probably going to save their timeout till after third down. Probably, smart play probably. You got 1 timeout left, and use it after third down.
Well, and Bagacic had to leave the game. I'm sure that factored into it a little bit as well with his helmet coming off. And
only 5 seconds. They got to hurry to get this ball snapped.
Yeah, they're going to be in trouble.
And they just get it off. And the handoff goes to Lehman, as we suspected it would, to the 49-yard line. And now the timeout taken by the Hornets. And that will be Wellsboro's last timeout. Kyle Minot makes the tackle. Minot makes the tackle on Lehman to force the 4th down punt. So 1:21 remaining right now. You figure they'll get the ball back about 1:15, 1:14 or so. And you'll have to work it into field goal range without any timeouts.
Well, first things first, Chris. If you're North Penn Mansfield, you got to take care of the ball,
Yep, you
get
can-
the punt off.
Yep, no errant snap.
And of course, if you're Wellsboro, you've got to catch it cleanly. See if they go after this, Chris.
I
assume they're
I would
going
think
to.
they will. I would think they would go after it and not set up the punt return. I think they'll roll the dice and
It
try
looks
to
like
go for it.
it does look like Kibler is back,
Yep, you probably need at least one back.
and Connor Adams, who's been back with him,
And
is
it looks like
he's on the
going
line
up
of
to the
scrimmage.
line here. It looks like he's going to try to be part of the block team as Noah Spencer will await the key snap coming here. So big play here to get the punt off with 1:21 to play. Here's the snap, a perfect snap by Harvey, or rather by 54 on that one, not Harvey. And the ball goes out of bounds on about the 16-yard line. There is a flag, though. Logan Chaplowski looks like snapped that one. He
And
snapped
there's
it
a
perfectly.
hold against North Penn Mansfield. So I'm assuming Coach Hildebrand will make them a repunt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't think he wants the ball back on the 18, especially if it's going to be a 10-yard penalty. So holding penalty will allow Wellsboro to possibly try to block the kick again. And,
Well, and it gives you 10 more yards.
yeah, it gives you 10 extra yards there. And now it looks like they might be sending 2 men back.
So Adams now comes back.
So they'll have 9 men looking to block the kick, not 10. So the ball pushed back to the 35-yard line, and that's where the ball will be snapped by the Hornets. And again, this could be a motion penalty against North Penn. They're shooting themselves in the foot here a little bit. False
Yep.
start against North Penn. They'll have to punt 5 more yards back. So
Well-
now the ball goes back to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and Chris, and besides the yardage that is now being gained on every penalty, there's no time taken off the
Yep.
clock either.
Yeah.
So really a
And just to
big advantage
give you
here
an
for
idea, when they
Wellsboro
were ready
Hornets.
for the first punt, you had the Wellsboro defender there, Kibler, back on about the 10-yard line. He's now standing on about the 35-yard line.
And Chris, that snap didn't look to be as solid as the first one.
Here we go. Here's the snap. Almost blocked, but he gets it away. Kibler lets it bounce. It hits Adams' hands as well. Adams picks it up back on the 22, and he's dropped there. Good defensive stop by North Penn Mansfield. Wow. It looked like Roop was down there. It looked like Lehman was down there. And the good yardage that you thought that Wellsboro might have, well, they're going to start back on their 24-yard line. So you were looking maybe getting in maybe on the 40-45. And when it comes to getting into field goal range, that could be a significant 20-yard difference.
Well, it was a good punt by Spencer. But let's see, Chris. There's a minute 3 to go here. Wellsboro needs to go 77 yards for the W.
3 receivers wide right, 1 wide left. Pass there is incomplete. Shows it to the long side of the field for Sweet. 2nd down and 10. 59 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. You know, you probably need about 50 yards, I would think, Kevin, for a decent field goal try. And even then, it could be a long one. But I'm going to say they need about 50.
Well, and right now I don't see anybody warming up, Chris.
Keene with time. Gets his pass off. He's got his man open, and that's caught by Callahan. Callahan out to the 48-yard line. The clock will stop as the chains are moved.
Plenty of time, Chris. Actually, that's a good play that they have time to do that again.
And now the clock is running under 50 seconds. We'll see if they spike it, or they probably won't spike it now because they're taking too much time. So they will look for an offensive play here. Keene back. He can't afford to take a sack here. Lets it go long out of bounds. To the short side of the field, intended for Ryan Sweet, but that goes out of bounds.
But unfortunately, Chris, a lot of time came off the clock between
that
plays.
was a long play.
But
that play took about 14 seconds.
But the clock does stop with the incompletion.
So I would say, Kevin, they probably, 40 yards may be the longest. So he's going to need to get at least, if he's going to kick from the 30, he's still going to need to pick up about 25, 20.
And you have to get out of
yards.
bounds. And you have to get out of bounds, Chris. You
don't have it for about 30 yards to be picked up for a 40-yard try. Dropping back, Keene's moving up. He's going to run it. He's got to get out of bounds, and he does.
Smart play.
Heady play there, out of bounds inside the 45 with 31 seconds, 30.9 exactly. And it's going to be a third down play now.
But, Chris, if the Wellsboro Hornets were looking for a field goal, I don't see anybody warming up.
You're right, yeah.
So it looks to me like Coach Hildebrand's all in for the W here. But boy,
Poirier is a good kicker. Right?
Game clock, Chris, here. Wellsboro yet to break the huddle with 10 seconds to go.
10 seconds
to
go. They cannot afford any penalties here. 7 seconds to snap the ball. Keene back with 4 seconds. They're going to get the snap off. They do just get it off. Rolling out, looking. He's going to run. Keene will get the first down to the 35. He goes out of bounds on the 35-yard line with 22.5 to go. And now we'll see if somebody's going to take any start warming up a little bit. I mean, it'd still be too long a kick from here. But they're going to start this clock here very soon.
Chris.
And Poirier now starting to warm up. He was out of bounds, so they have a little extra time to come up with the play as Kibler is channeling that one in, it looks like.
Chris, you still got plenty of time here to take a shot. Again, you got Singer down here split out by the near side.
Here we go. Rolling out again is Keene. Lets his pass go, and it's caught. Deflected and caught. What a nice catch there by Connor Adams. Hello, Mr. Football.
Yeah, I'm not sure who
deflected in his hands,
Chris, but Connor Adams with the right spot, right time.
Might have gone off Singer's hand, and Adams comes up with it. Now the ball's on the 24-yard line, so if they don't gain any more ground, it would be about a 41-yard field goal from here with 16 seconds to play.
And that's makeable, Chris.
So here we go from the 24-yard line.
There's that formation.
High drama on our first Blue Ridge broadcast. Letting it go deep into the end zone. That pass is incomplete. They went for Singer. Covering on the play for Mansfield. Bogacek was down there, and also down there was Fabian. As they were right there, they didn't let Singer break free. And now there's 11 seconds to go. I would say you got time for one more play. As long as it's over 10 yards. You don't get a 10-yard play, you're not going to get the field goal off it unless he's out of bounds.
Yeah,
so
you got to get out of bounds.
They've got to complete the pass.
Or Chris, obviously play stops on a defensive penalty.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, defensive penalty. But anything short of a first down on this play or an out of bounds, Wellsboro might have trouble getting the next play off. Here goes Keene. He cannot afford to run it and stay in bounds. He can't get out of bounds. And now they got to spike it. 2 seconds to go. They're not going to get the playoff. North Penn is going to win the football game. The North Penn Panthers have won. Keene could not get out of bounds. And North Penn, they won at Wellsboro in the District 4 playoff game last year, 17-14. They win tonight. on the Wellsboro field, 17-14. They couldn't get out of bounds on that last play, so 17-14 victories. And I imagine down on the plaza in Blossburg right now, there's a lot of horn honking going on. But a great football game by both teams. Nobody has to hang their heads and feel poorly about this. I know there'll be a trophy presentation here to Coach Dickinson and his staff. Coach Hildebrand coming out to shake hands with Tommy. And it looks like North Penn Mansfield is going to take home this victory. A heck of an effort by both teams, but boy, you had to get out of bounds on that play there. And they just couldn't quite do that. So the final score, 17-14 tonight. I imagine we're staying on the air just a little bit yet. I don't know if they are going to present the trophy.
Well, we saw the trophy.
We saw the trophy up here, so I'm not sure where the trophy is now. But anyway, the Jones Trophy will go to North Penn. I believe the second time in the last 10 years that it goes to North Penn. It normally resides in Wellsboro. But you got to give the Panthers credit. They fell down 14-0, playing their first game of the season, and then to come back and pull off the victory like they did tonight. A lot of credit goes to Coach Dickinson getting the team prepared to play without scrimmage or without any preseason games before going into rivalry week. But heck of an effort by Wellsboro, heck of an effort by North Penn. The fans of both teams can feel very proud of what their young men did tonight, and we were just pleased to bring it to you.
Yeah, great effort by both teams, Chris. A total reversal of after the first 6 minutes of the game to the end of the game, where we thought it was going to be a track meet. The defense has just really settled in. It was just a great effort by both teams. A lot of hard hitting. A lot of people.
And the trophy now is making its way onto the field, and it's going to be handed to the North Penn Panthers. And the Panthers celebrate with the Jones Trophy. They don't take that too often, so they are extra excited tonight as the Jones Trophy heading into the trophy case at North Penn High School. North Penn Mansfield High School will, I guess, house the trophy. Maybe Liberty gets to have it some down there as well. I'm not sure.
What they should do, Chris, is they should take a parade down to the plaza with the trophy and
there
drop it off to the folks down there. And
there you go. Mr. McNamara will know what to do with it.
And the great event that they put on down there tonight for the community.
So that's going to do it for our broadcast. A great effort. I know the Wellsboro Hornet fans a little sad at this point, and rightly so, but you got to be proud of your team's effort. And they've still got the heart of the season, 4 games to go, and plenty of time to maneuver back into position if there are any playoff games later this season. So on behalf of Mr. Kevin Green, this is Chris Vaughn. We do thank you for allowing Blue Ridge Cable Television to be a part of your broadcast Friday evening. We'll see you in 2 weeks when the Wellsboro Hornets will host the Trojans of Troy High School. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.